Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark D. Wiz. We're working on Pocket Fighter EX today, and Pocket Fighter EX is not affiliated with Capcom or SNK. It's just a fan game, community-based game, by the fans, for the fans. So, welcome everybody, and we're gonna work on the thing I showed not yesterday, jeez. Last Monday, I enhanced the HUD a little bit. And so I want to get that into the game. We'll do that first, since I didn't get to it last time. And then we'll work on Judgment Girls. We talked a bit about that last time. In Street Fighter 3, Judgment happens when you have a tie. And then the game has to decide who won the match. And then it shows kind of like the people on the sidelines have come in and they've been asked to judge who they think won, and then they hold up cards for the characters. So I want to work on that too, if we can get to it. Pretty sure, I don't think the HUD's going to be that big of an issue, but hey, who knows, right? So let's open up the, well, we've got that file open. I don't know if this is actually what I put in the build or not. I've only gotten that once in Street Fighter 3. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Usually only in like double KO situations, but they're so rare. They're really fun though, when they do happen. Oh, let's see. I think we'll do it from this, we'll tackle it this way. I'm gonna click on this and then see where does this sprite go, and then we'll take a look at this and see how we want to adapt it. So this is the file. Okay, it looks like I have them separate, and that makes sense because the max bar turns into the time bar once you enter max mode. And then Super Meter Dark. I don't know what that one's used for. In fact, I don't know if that one's used at all. Let's see. And meter levels. Okay, and those probably don't have to change, at least not right now. But we'll keep them loaded in here. And then, wait, is that it? Okay, hold on. Then we want the max bar here. There's max labels, time labels, and time meter. Okay, let's drag those in. And for the most part, we should be able to just kind of like edit these textures and then send them back. Okay, so we've got time. There's the max bar. Yeah, max. And that. Okay. And let's see. Question: is Twitter and YouTube dying? What? Like the stream? Or the platforms? I mean, I'm streaming on both. Yeah, what do you mean by dying? I don't think so. I can't imagine that being the case. Let's see, now we got our HUD top. There's a HUD top. And we'll drag that in. I think the name end, this probably doesn't have to change, but I'll keep it loaded as a reminder to check that. And let's see, the time numbers, we might do something with that. So let's load those too. Now let's just close these. Don't need all the folders open. Let's see what else changed. I think that's pretty much it. I didn't do anything with the round bars, but maybe I will now that I've changed a few things. I don't know, this has a black backdrop, right? And I think that's what we used here anyway. Yeah, we're using black as a backdrop. So those don't need to change. You're probably hearing the damn roosters in the background. Oh, yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Where he said amazing, it's like he doesn't even hear it? Yeah, I live with the roosters. So they don't even... Yeah, that's the wild ones out there. They just hang around the house because we feed them. I don't even think about it. Alright. So we're gonna take the pieces from here and adapt them to this. So we need, let's see, what layer are we on here? Is this HUD 2? HUD 2. So we need to get rid of this, and this. And in fact, well, I will leave the black outline here. Just in case we ever do anything with that. And then we'll get rid of the level number here. And I believe the meter, when it's not full, looks like... Oh, that's not right. Can I not carry over a color here? Okay, I mean, if that's the case, we could just copy it anyway. Say I could just copy the color value, but this is probably faster. There. And then now, nope, don't save. Now that it's formatted the way we want, we're just going to literally overwrite the old file. And the old file is different somehow. Why is the old file different? Why is it bigger? Okay. Apparently I made it smaller? That's alright too. That's okay. Okay, and we'll just save that. And then we'll check it in here and see what it looks like now. Yeah, and that looks okay. I guess I must have made... Yeah, I made the max bar bigger to add the shadow, right? Yeah. They look like they're lined up alright, but let's take a look actually in-game here. Oh wow, look at that. It looks cool already. Yeah, they look alright. They look alright. Looks like they're lined up. So then the next one, man, it actually looks really good in motion. I'm happy about that. Oh yeah, so these got, well, they didn't get an outline, but maybe they might need one. We'll leave those until the end. So we don't need this one anymore. That one's complete. Get rid of that temp. We don't. I'm gonna leave these till the end and we'll decide if we want to do anything with that. So the max bar here. This one got bigger. So it's up. And then right one because it's gonna have black on the outline. And we'll move this over here. And I could probably just draw the... Oh wait, no, that's not... Hold on. I need to draw first the extension down here. Oh, it's gotta be a little bigger too. Again. To get that last bit of black in there. And then let's just copy this. And we can, oh, we need to increase the color. No? What happened? Yeah, RGB color. Didn't wanna, oh, there we go. Okay, and now we've got that. I don't know why it's so tall. We can close that down a little bit. I'll save that. Is the YouTube stream lagging? Anybody else experiencing that? I actually saw a stream earlier on YouTube that was lagging, so I'm wondering if YouTube's having problems. Okay, and as I expected, they're a little bit offset here. It's fine on Twitch. Oop. And I want to move. Whoa, wait, what the hell? Oh, because the time bar is behind it. I was gonna say that looks weird. Okay, so it's 1.5 and 0.7. And that looks okay. Oh, the bars themselves here gonna have to move. Maybe 0.3? No, 0.5. There we go. Wait, something doesn't look right. I see, I see. This got moved over. Okay, hold on. I just want to compare, see what these two look like. Actually, in fact, I can just kind of paste those in and then just recolor them. Might be the better idea. And then save. And let's take a look. Uh-oh, we might have a problem. It did save, right? Okay, are these the same size? Or are these different sizes? No, they're the same size. So why does this look different now? Has this bar always been bigger than the other one by accident? How big is that? 22 and 3? And this one is 22 and 3. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Why is... Wait, there's something wrong. I don't think that... Oh! No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the label. Was hiding it. Oh my god. Okay, it's freaking me out. Okay, the label's gonna have to move over a little bit. And that's fine. We'll deal with that because the label did change. So, okay. And then let's adjust it over here too. Get it in the right spot here. Oh, negative 1.5, I think it was. And 0.7. These two have to be 0.5. And this one has to be negative 6.9. Hey, it's looking cool already. Let's see. I think Odyssey, speaking of Odyssey, I think Odyssey is trying to do streaming stuff. So if that becomes a thing, I might try that as well. I think that would be fun to add to the rest of it, right? Let's see. So we want the max here, this part, and it has changed now to this. So there are two of them. It's gonna be this one. And then Oh, let's see. Should have been yellow, but there. So let's save that. I might have to recut those sprites. We'll see how that works out. Oh, no, I don't. They actually look like they fit in right away. Well, that looks nice. Okay. Well, let's see what it looks like in action. Get my controller here. Wait, does Odyssey already have streaming? Why, are we talking about the same thing? I'm talking about Odyssey like Library Odyssey, where I put up my other videos. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh, I guess I never actually used the white. I never used the white flickering here. Let's see, hold on. Let me drain all my max here. Quickest way to do that is that. Yeah, I think at one point, I think the reason there's a white one and a yellow one is because I think when I had one bar full, I wanted to make this flash, and I never did that. Maybe we can address that. Maybe we can address that this stream. I think that might be interesting. Yeah, and then this can flash white, white, yellow, white, yellow, white, yellow. And that lets you know that there is an available meter of max. And then the time bar is separate here, so let's fix that one up. That one we're gonna have to edit a little bit manually. So we've got... Bring it up. And bring it over to... Oh. Here. Oh, I hear the peepers. Yeah, I figured. They're feeling lonely. Here, then like this. Save it. Wonder if it actually makes the palette on its own. I'm gonna do it manually here just to make sure it's okay. That's probably Wobbles. Wobbles is very, very dependent, I guess. That's alright. It's okay. Okay, and the time bar is here, and we just have to make it match the other one. 1.3, 0.7. Is that it? Time bar, yeah. Was it 1.3? He's off though. Here, like this. I guess it is 1.5. It's just the 0.7 was the one here. And then the time itself, I don't think I actually ever drew the time. So what I did with the other one, in fact, let's bring that back up. Time meter. No, not time meter. Damn it, now I closed it. Wait, I have it again, alright. Okay, let's look. Max meter, max bar labels. That's what we want. And they are now this high. So let's just copy that and paste that here. And now we've got the full size. So I just increased the size of everything here. So we'll just quickly edit. Go away. We'll quickly edit the text here. Should be simple enough. The E, probably do that. That looks like time. That reads as time. You hear peeping? Yeah, that's the little chicks. That's the ones we rescued. They got abandoned. Let's see, it was this, right? And then not sure what I used the yellow one for before, but that's all right. Okay, so those should be saved, and we'll take a look at them. I don't know if they'll need adjustment or not, but we will find out soon enough. Let me maximize this P2 to see. No, and it looks all right. The bar is not right though. The bar needs to come up 1 pixel, right? And it's oh, and the time needs to go right 1. Okay. So the time label, time bar label needs to be 5.2. And here, time bar label needs to be -6.9. Okay, and now the time bar itself needs to come up to be 0.5. 0.5. There, and let's take a look. Oh, it looks cool already. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks right. It looks pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, that was partially filled. That's what it looks like. I wonder if I might have to change the inner color a little bit. Oh, we got level 3 supers already. We've had those. The ones on the bottom don't look right. And I think I know why. I think I know why they don't look right. Super meters. Meter bars? No, it's not one. Super meter.gif. Yep, and that's what I figured. Alright, I did not adjust the color properly. Thought they looked a little strange. So like I was saying, oh, I wonder if the colors will automatically change. Yeah, they don't. So here, I wanted to make those blue and not black. Then we'll change the palette here. Bring it back down to index mode. That's, you know, the palette entries. Then let's save, and now it's view. I think it might look a bit better. Optic blast. Oh yes, that's much better. Okay. I'm doing this to make sure it doesn't fill, so I can look at it when it's like half full. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Cool. Alright, so far so good. I'll consider putting drop shadow on the level 2, level 3 stuff. A little undecided on that one. I think time is going to have to change though. And thankfully we can actually change the time here. So we can actually see it count down. Okay, so we've got the bottom. Time mode looks fine. Does it look fine in armor? Yeah. Could you tell us again why Goken in Street Fighter 4 fucks up the lore? It was a fun topic yesterday. Here's the thing. So, until Street Fighter 4, Ryu's motivations, like, he's a self-motivated character, so he wants to get stronger just to improve. But he also has the goal of defeating Akuma because Akuma beat Goken, killed Goken. And, you know, Ken also kind of has that resentment towards Akuma about that. But mostly, like, Ryu's defining character trait is improvement through, you know, it's like self-improvement. He does his own stuff. He gets stronger on his own, and he, you know, took what Goken tried to teach him, and he's going to kind of bring it to his own understanding. And in fact, his style may end up being a little different than Goken's as a result, although he follows the same general path. And much in a way that Ken has his own sort of style. You know, it's based in their art, but he's got the freedom to change and do what he does. So when you bring Goken back into the picture, it kind of muddies things, especially with Street Fighter 3. So Oro ends up being Ryu's new master in Street Fighter 3 at the end of Third Strike. And the idea is that Oro is going to take Ryu to the next level, you know, and maybe Goken could have if he was alive, but he's dead, so, you know, now it's sort of Oro's job to do that. And when you bring Goken back, it derails that entire thing. Now Ryu doesn't have as much of a reason to fight Akuma and to beat him. Because there's kind of a double thing going on here. Not only is, oh, he killed Goken, so there's sort of a revenge factor in it, but it's also Ryu kind of proving that Goken was right and Akuma was wrong in the ways that they went to attain their powers. But now if Goken comes back, then kind of, there's two problems there. There's one where, like, Ryu doesn't have as much motivation to fight Akuma anymore, and then you also have the, like, okay, well, if Goken's back, why doesn't Goken just do it? Apparently Goken's more powerful, and he has the power of nothingness, and he knows how to use it. Why doesn't Goken train and go take care of Akuma? It gets really muddy. And then why would, if Goken is so powerful and has the power of nothingness and can teach Ryu the power of nothingness, why does Ryu then ever need to go study under Oro? And it gets really weird. It destroys a whole bunch of motivations. It kind of ruins a whole bunch of themes of the story. Just for no reason. I don't know. Someone thought it was cool, and they didn't really think it through, and now it's all fucked. So, there you go. That's my little rant about why Goken coming back ruins the lore of Street Fighter, at least when it concerns Ryu. I mean, there's other issues going on there too. You know, that's not the only problem with Street Fighter 4 and 5, but I would say that is one of the quintessential parts there. That's not good. Whoever thought to make those changes clearly doesn't understand Street Fighter in and of itself, the themes that make up Street Fighter, and nor do they understand basic storytelling, which is unfortunately a shame. And so now the entire story of Street Fighter is just completely fucked. Like, I don't really see any way that they can, like, fix it. I think it's just completely done. You're just gonna have to... I mean, it was never the most engaging story on the planet to begin with, but at this point you're pretty much just gonna have to turn your brain off and be like, oh, look, Ryu did a flashy thing, ooh, yay, golf clap. And that's about all you're gonna get out of the series now, unfortunately. So there's that. And I'm not saying it was high art or anything, but especially the people who did Alpha clearly understood the storytelling perspective on this thing. And, you know, it wasn't complicated, but it was pretty solid in what it was. It was what it needed to be. And now it's not. So, well, what you gonna do? Is that right? Does that look right? I think that's right. At least they kind of had Street Fighter 3 in mind when bringing Goken back, although it could have been interpreted as half-assed attempt to not fuck up much. I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't see where them having brought Goken back jives at all in any way with the events of Street Fighter 3. I don't see how they mesh. They seem completely completely at odds as far as I'm concerned. Ryu's donkey kick, that I I don't think that constitutes as them understanding what they're doing with the story. They just added it to add it, I guess. I don't know, and it's weird. It's very different too. It's definitely not the donkey kick that we knew. So I wouldn't say that counts for anything. I would go even further. I wouldn't say it's even a half-ass attempt. I think it's just a complete brain-dead move. There was no thought whatsoever in it. Somebody thought it would be cool to have Goken back. And while it could have worked in the case of, hey, we're gonna bring Goken back as like a spirit, that would have worked. That would have been fine. But they didn't. And in fact, they sort of tried to play that off in let's see, hold on, let me get this lined up here. They tried to play it off as that, it felt like, in Street Fighter 4 at the beginning. Wait, did I accidentally copy that? What happened? Why are there two of them now? Hold on. Yeah, I think I accidentally copied them. Yeah, I don't know why, but apparently I copied them. Slip of the finger. They seemed like they were actually trying to play off of that idea. That, I think I'm gonna move this one down one. I don't know why it's on a point there. So, point 1? Yeah. They kind of played it off like that at first, that it was, oh, Ryu thought that Goken was a spirit. And that would have been fine. You could bring Goken back as just a spirit. Not like really bringing him back, but he's kind of like a, oh, how do we want to put it? A non-canonical combatant, where he's just there and you can select him, but he doesn't really exist. You know, they could have done that. That's fine. And that's what I thought they were actually doing at first. Now this poses an interesting problem. See, I should have tested this with the numbers. The infinity symbol doesn't go all the way up to the top and bottom, but the numbers do. So what do we do about that? That's interesting. Well, one step at a time. Save this. Take a look. Well, something's wrong. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah, the light bars in this version of Unity got strange. I don't know if a texture material got screwed up, but they only restore on counter hit, or screen flash, really. I think it looks way more dynamic now, though. It looks really cool. Is that what it looked like before? Yeah, I guess. It was just black, right? Behind it? Yeah. The solid red is where they're getting hit. When they get hit, it's solid red. And then after the combo is done, it turns to checkerboard red, and then it goes away. Fades away. Oh, I'm sorry, the combo is the checkerboard red. The intense red is the latest hit, the last hit that occurred. So if I do, yeah, actually, That's actually a good example. So, a lot of the Capcom games do this. The first hit, you get the solid red, like the bright red. And then on the second hit, the bright red represents only the damage of the next hit here. See? And then the checkerboard red, or the darker red, represents the entire combo damage. And that will fade away after so many frames, like that. It turned dark, now it's black. That way you can see per hit, and you can see damage per combo. I think that's important to have. It's a very nice detail. Hello, Nearly. What's up? And thank you. I think it looks pretty good too. Okay. The drop shadow really makes that red stand out too. Just makes it really threatening looking. I like that. There, he's stunned. And that's it. Okay, that looks alright. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Okay, let me look to see what these bars are. What's their material right now? Sprite material. There's still sprite material. Here. How come they get all mixed up in the beginning? I don't know. Unity either introduced a bug or something when the match starts. You'll see they get all buggy. See? Get all weird. I don't know what's up with that. Unity being Unity. Anyway, okay, so we've got that down. Really, the only thing left is the time countdown. A raid? There was a wait. Hold on. I don't have my audio hooked up. It doesn't work anymore. Hold on. Oh, Nearly. Oh wait. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Nearly came in with the 5 people. Well, thank you very much. The joys of coding. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Unity does things their own way, and you do your thing on Unity's schedule, essentially. Yeah, I'm sorry, I used to have a thing that I could hear the notification sound, like you guys can hear it. But I don't know, the speaker just doesn't work right anymore? I don't know, that audio port's broken or something, and it comes out garbled sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't come out at all. So it's killing me. Yeah, if you guys see anything like that, just pop a mention in chat and I'll acknowledge it. I apologize. It's hard to it's hard to notice without the noise, the hearing thing. 99 bugs of code to debug, 99 bugs of debugging. Yeah, you take one down. Yeah, parsing around 114 new bugs of code to debug. Yeah. Would love to make a game inspired by fighting games too. They are so interesting to design. Yes, they are. Absolutely agree. And hey, no, there's no time like the present. If you start now, you'll have something sooner than you think. Okay, so the last thing here is the timer, I guess. This didn't seem to need to change. Let's make sure that the pixels on that look alright. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't see any uneven bits there. So I think we're okay on that. I have to finish my end of study project, and I already have something planned that looks more or less like a fighting game. Ah, there you go. Well, good luck on that. And fighting games are tough, but don't give up on it. That's what I'm gonna say. They are tough. But don't give up. Okay, I need to grab the... Well, I'll grab one pixel of it and just bring it over. Spray gets a little weird where like you select a color from another image, it doesn't want to migrate over. Oh, and then make sure to select this. I don't want to recolor the bottom there. I just want to recolor these. So, oh, we have to change palette here. We'll save those. And now the number should be right. I will try the game with friends tomorrow. Looks fun. We can play with 2 controllers? Yeah, absolutely. And here, if anybody needs the link, there is the link. You can download it on GameJolt.com. It is a local 2-player only right now, but we are working on online. Oh yeah, we gotta change the numbers here. Okay, I mean that looks alright. I wonder if the numbers should be shifted up 1. Maybe they should be shifted up 1 and only drop shadowed, as opposed to outlined. But I think it looks okay. Certainly doesn't look bad, put it that way. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So now I want to see what it looks like with the whole round. How many people are on the project? I am the sole programmer, but we have let's see. I mean, we've got some like core people and we've got some contributors. We've got like 3 core sprite artists with contributors. You know, like occasional contributors. We've got 1 full 1 composer. That's Maxi Demand. And is that really the core? That's kind of the core. Yeah. We got Pocket's the main sprite artist. Anim Pocket. You can find him on Twitter or DeviantArt. He does the heavy lifting for the stuff. Like I do animations too, but like I don't have time to do them all, so I need people to help me fill in. And then we have, I don't know, about 6 to 8 occasional contributors. I wouldn't say that we're not like a named team. Okay, I just needed a counter hit to get the life bars. I don't know how much they're damaged when they're glitched like that. Yeah, it looks a lot better with the drop shadow, because all the winner, the KO, and all that have the drop shadow.
It all depends on your skill. Let's party.
And we'll throw them. We have personalized names for certain team, or will have personalized names for certain team, like in the original SVC. Oh, you mean like the characters? So if you put like, I don't know. Akuma's not in the game, but if you had like Ryuken Akuma, it would be like Shoto Team or something. Is that what you mean? That's a good idea. I've considered it. I'm not sure if the characters that we're putting in will allow us to do too many of those. Will you stay with the characters from Street Fighter KOF, or will you add stuff from other licenses? We're sticking with Street Fighter and KOF. Yeah. You know, maybe down the line, I want to keep things in a similar universe, so to speak. And I think KOF and Street Fighter have the most synergy out of the fighting games. Like their worlds and powers and, you know, aesthetic kind of have a synergy between them. You could argue that Tekken does fit in also this category, but because it's a completely different style of combat, you know, the transition to take those characters and put them in would be much higher. Of course, I could use Street Fighter Cross Tekken as a base for that. But I don't see anything wrong with the world of Tekken. But I just thought the SNK universe would be more interesting to meld with. Yeah, I don't have any place for the team name though either. I'm not really sure where it would go, right? I mean, you can see here what I plan to add. Like, that's Chun, that's Guile, that's Kyo, that's Iori, and that's Mai. And that'll be the first 8, plus one secret request character that I've gotten. And we'll pick a boss for arcade mode, and that'll be the initial, you know, launch. You know, the version 1.0. So it'll have the local online, the local versus, the online versus, arcade mode, and Wake versus CPU. Yeah, you sure would need to adapt things. Would be cool to see Soul and Kai versus Ryu and Ken. Well, see, their worlds don't mesh though. They're like in completely different timelines, right? Now, like I say, Tekken's world is fine. You know, that meshes. You know, fighting EX layer obviously is directly descended from Street Fighter, so that kind of like a by default that just works, right? I would consider perhaps those, but there's so many characters from Capcom and SNK to get through that I don't have to worry about that right now. Yeah, that's right. The error screen. So if you put the SNK versus Capcom Neo Geo Pocket game in a game, or not in a Game Boy, in a black and white Neo Geo Pocket, not the color one. You get these little error screens. Yeah, and there's one that shows Alex and Kay. It says, "We will be in the game, right? We are protagonists." Yeah. Poor Alex and Kay. Now for the second wave, you know, there's a lot of considerations. I'm trying to keep myself from not thinking about it too much, because, you know, we're not even halfway through the first 8, right? So it's kind of useless to start thinking ahead too far. But we do have some characters that can be added that were not in the original. Like, we have the pixel art horsepower to do characters that never were in these games. So, and just as an example, now Pocket didn't do this for this project, but if we do happen to want to use it, he has in the past, he has done a K sheet. Like, he's done a full sheet of K. So if we want to put him in, I mean, that one's already done. And I mean, Pocket's a machine. Like, he pumps these out like it's nothing, and you'd be damn hard pressed to figure out the difference between an official character sheet and one of Pocket's things. He's got the style on lock for sure, right? Like if you showed this to me and I didn't know any better, but oh yeah, that's definitely an official sprite sheet. It looks just like it. But and I did color it too. Where is it now? I colored most of it. I don't think I got every single frame, but so I did apply some color to it to see how it looked. I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I like Kay. I can't make any promises because I'm not sure who I want to put in the second. I mean, you could put a million characters in, right? I don't have a guy sheet, although somebody was working on a guy sheet on their own. I'm trying to remember who it was now. I don't think it was Jet. Who was it? It's been a long time. I don't know. Let me see. Let me search in the Discord. What do we got? No, I don't see it. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Somebody was doing some guy animations and they were looking pretty good. Ask him to remove the rips from Ken's gi. I don't know. They're kind of cool. They flow a little bit, right? But I know what you mean. Ken usually has the more clean look outside of the two characters. And then Akuma's got like more rips, right? So from the Neo Geo Pocket color game. Now I applied color to him, but see, like he's got more rips on his. His rips are a little bit bigger. They enhance the rippage. And he looks a little more wild. Especially on his yeah, on his standing pose, you see him. The legs I don't think changed too much. But definitely the shoulders have. Ken buys a new gi every now and then. Ryu wears his down. Yeah, and it's faded out, right? Yeah.
Time over.
I don't know. Akuma's is stained with a dark Hado, I guess. So he's that's why his is always black, right? Nope, that's not what I want. But I was gonna do this. Really, I probably should have done. Well, without the counter hitting there as an actual combo. Come on! Oh no, I screwed it up. That's alright. What about giving Akuma the rope belt and gloves? Does the resolution allow for it? Probably not. I think I've tried to do that before. Yeah, the belt is just 1 pixel line, right? So that wouldn't work. And then the gloves, yeah, they're real small. Like, how could you tell that those were rope, right? They're so damn small. Even if you did add like this, well, now it makes like the shape of his hand almost kind of indistinguishable. You know what I mean? Kind of muddies the whole shape of things. So, yeah, I'll probably just leave those as is if he gets in. I mean, I think Akuma's inevitable, right? I don't think we're gonna get away with not adding Akuma. But again, I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Could even give him the slippers? Maybe? I don't know. It's a lot harder to work in this resolution than you think. I don't know if you could. I guess that looks okay, right? Could do that maybe. But it looks alright, I guess. That might work. I'll have to consider that. Let's see, where's a frame where his foot... Here, let me pause this. Keep saying time over. Where's a frame where we can see like the bottom of his foot, right? Like right here. Let's see, how would we do that? Would it be brown, right? I guess? Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me get the right color here. Guess it would have to be like this, right? And then you would want to have like little lines here to denote the texture of the thing. I don't know, something like that. You'd have to have a few lines. It could probably work. It could probably work. Oh, you'd have to add it here though too, right? I don't know. Okay. It's gonna be really weird on the bottom of his foot though? I don't know. It looks okay here, but what would you do here? You just leave it like this? Like this? Then there's no outline on the bottom. And then if you do this, now he's taller by a pixel. This gets complicated sometimes. I don't know. I think you'd have to leave it off the foot. At best, you could probably get something like that. And to just show it when his foot comes through? I don't know. That's tough. It's tough. And this is a little flatter here. It'd have to be like this. I don't know, something like that. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They're not exactly the same height, they're about an inch difference. Okay, but do you think 1 pixel here represents an inch? It will look weird. It will. When they're standing side by side, it will look strange. You don't usually get big height differences here between characters in this style because it's so deformed anyway. It's not something to consider. If you try to add that kind of detail, things are actually going to start to look strange. Trust me. Let's see. Let's think about whether or not we want to add. Let me change the stage so it's not moving around. And we go look at the HUD in peace. Now, there's no strict timeline for this game. It's just kind of... It exists in the conceptual idea of Capcom and SNK. But that's pretty much it. Alright, what did I want to look at here? Oh, yeah. The levels here. Do the levels need a drop shadow? I'm kind of thinking no. Because the max is not going to have a drop shadow. And the bars are really the important information here. I'm thinking we're going to leave these alone. We could pretend the game happened before he bought the sandals. I would like to slightly, if I do come in, which again, is probably inevitable, I would probably want to add the hair whitening that he has from Street Fighter 3 because I think that looks cool. But the sandals just might be too much of a detail. But I think at least the hair part looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I ended up editing these ones here. I think I did... Is it from this sheet? Yeah, I started recoloring them from the actual data from the game. We extracted the data out of it. And then we color separated some stuff. So the gloves, the beads, the hair, the eyes are all separate. And in the default costume, a lot of them get set to the same color. But you could definitely mix and match things to make more interesting palettes. And you can see I have... Sometimes I just do the colorings for fun. Oh yeah, then the aura is blue to keep it separate from the red, so I can clearly see it when I'm working on the pixels. Yeah, I've done a bunch of colorings. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to use them, but they're there. Like Pocket did Cody as well. Would it be this one? Yeah, this is probably the default. So he did Cody, but I thought it would be cool to see what would it look like in color. Oh, this is before I started using the colored outlines, actually. That was black. So I do a bunch of these all the time. It's kind of a neat thing. Like I made a little chain sprite. I thought that looked pretty good. Not perfect, but you know, it could work as a base to go off of. I mean, he's pretty much just an edit of Ken Ryu anyway, so. And then you can see between them what they would look like. Is it Shane or is it Sean? I don't know. S-E-A-N? Is it Sean? I don't know. I don't fucking know. It's S-E-A-N. Oh yeah, that helps. I don't know. Is Sean deliberately have an H in it? Look. I might as well be dyslexic here. Just, just kill me. In Minecraft. Only in Minecraft. I did a Shermie's new outfit recently. Shorn? Shorn? Why do they make you bad, Thirst Strike? Actually, the developers answered that question. They made him bad because of lore reasons, apparently. They're like, yeah, he's supposed to be bad. I did this not too long ago. Again, doesn't mean Shermie's gonna be in the game, but it's just something I did. Where is... Oh, I didn't even make a folder for Chris. Because I don't like Chris. I didn't even bother. I did Leona. I did Leona just this week. Because she got revealed. She got a trailer. So I did a color test on her. I think that one looks cool. I think this is her Gal Fighters animation for her idol. So obviously this is the original and it's just the colored version. Yeah, the sudden flick when she changes sides, right? In the original, she actually has a transition frame, like in the full size KOFs, like in the full size sprites. She does have, here between this frame and this frame, she actually does have an in-between here, but in the Pocket, she doesn't. I think if I were to add her, I would have to add that frame. Because yeah, it bugged me too. I just didn't have time to animate a whole new frame of it. But yeah, this should be an in-between there. It looks really strange, right? Let's see, what other ones have I done? Oh, Pocket animated Alice. Did a whole sheet for her. So I ended up doing a color version of that. Some of the stuff I wasn't sure about. But again, I just did it for fun, so if we were actually going to add her, I'd have to consult Woodpocket and be like, hey, how are these frames supposed to work? Like, it looks cool in 3 colors, but it gets a little weird when you add the additional colors. So, let's see, her original... Yeah, this was his original version of it. And then I add the color. He does really good. I mean, he just pumps these out like they're nothing. It's crazy. Oh, I did Chizuru. Yeah. Is this the one? Yeah, and I did the different colors. Different ones. From probably they're probably from KOF 98. And then the original. Well, her original is actually like was never in color to begin with, so I actually had to change a lot. Pachinko girl. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's Alice. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know, I could be here all day with this. Oh, I was getting some references ready for Kasumi, because people are like, I don't know if it's going to be Leona or Kasumi that gets announced. So I started getting references for Kasumi, but I never actually went and colored her yet. Oh, I've done a whole bunch of color tests for Kim, but man, he's tough. Because he was made for the black and white. So they gave him shading, where the characters don't typically have shading, unless they have like very dark clothing. So I was trying all sorts of manner on how to remove the shading while keeping the detail of the pants, and adding more detail to the collar. Like his collar, they didn't do anything, it's just plain. So it's like the Fatal Fury design. There's no collar detail or anything. So I tried adding that to see how that worked. That doesn't look like the final one that I've been using, but it's pretty close though. It's kind of what I ended up with. And he's got the gloves. Man, it's tough. It's tough to only have 3 colors and to get all this across. I don't know. Kim's a maybe. He is pretty popular, so he's definitely on the board of consideration. Got Rio. Oh, I did fireball animation tests for him. See what it would look like. And I did alternating colors on it, more like a Capcom style. It looks okay. It looks more like an X-Men Children of the Atom kind of thing. I think also because of the way that it's drawn. That's all SNK sprites, I just colored them. And then, I have a whole bunch of alternates of these. At the time I was working on Ryu's fireballs and how they change color between purple and blue. And I thought, what if we tried to apply that Capcom logic to an SNK character to see how that worked? So you see each frame is a different palette. Because there's kind of 2 distinct shapes. This frame and this frame are kind of their own thing. But then you have this frame and this frame are their own different shape. And so I merged them together. Because Capcom does that a lot. Well, it's kind of like an inner and outer shape to it. Let's see, here I tried to use purple and blue, and I don't know if that works for Rio. Let's see, this was his classic red. So I have the red and the orange and yellow. And that works okay. It works decent. It looks pretty cool when you go between those 2 shapes. And here was the teal and the blue. And that works okay too, I think. I think that one's alright. I don't know what color scheme I'd like to go with Rio. If Rio ever gets in, obviously. But I thought it was a good experiment just to see how taking the Capcom Fireball animation and color philosophy to an SNK character would look like. Rio looks like he's pulling off a Goku. Yeah. Yeah, the big sprites come from Gal Fighters, I think. Because Yuri's in Gal Fighters, and Takuma comes down as an assist and uses a giant fireball. But Rio's rather is this and this one put together. And KOF R2 and Match the Millennium. So I kind of like combined them both to make like a really big one to make it look really cool. It was a good experiment. Isn't Iori the final boss of Gal Fighters wearing a disguise? Yes, he is, actually. Yes, he is. Speaking of Iori, I can show you that too. Yeah, I think I colored all the frames. No, the color's separated, so the hair is pink just to keep it separate from the red, and the eyes are green to keep it separate from the clothes white. But here's all his Match of the Millennium sprites. And we have, now he does not have the super in any of the Pocket games, but Anim Pocket animated this, so we can use that as one of the supers. But I really like that extension. God, it looks so good though. He's so damn good at this. It just flows so well. The ice smear and everything. Jesus Christ. So when we get to programming Iori, that's definitely going to be one of the supers. Well, I did some Fireball tests on him too. In KOF R2, his ground wave looks like this, but in Gal Fighters it looks like this. So they like completely changed it up, and I like the Gal Fighters one better. It looks cooler, and this one just looks puny in a way. So there's a lot of things to consider. And here's more effects from Iori. Here's his DP fire. Here's his fireball, or ground wave, whatever we want to call it. Here's the one where he jumps up and like swipes down. That one looks cool. And then a fire pillar. We had to shrink it down to fit in the cart. I think that's part of it. I think that in KOF R2, I think that's part of it. There's probably two reasons. One, because it wasn't as optimized. Back then it was one of, well, I wouldn't say it's the earliest game. It's not, it's kind of in the latter half of what they've been doing. But Gal Fighters is definitely more optimized than KOF R2 was. So it's two things. One, the sprite was probably smaller, so it didn't take as much horsepower to display it. And two, it takes up less size in the ROM too, so yeah. Kind of a double whammy there. I always wondered why his 8 wine cup super just seemed to be way too much on the utility side. Oh, as opposed to like being an attack? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody uses wine cups. I've not met a single Iori player that told me that wine cups is at all useful for anything. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, here's the flames for the other super. Pocket did these two. God damn, they look great. Will you make his level 3 the Pillar of Fire? Maybe? I don't know. I'm a little undecided about that. I'm not sure what I want to do with that. Yeah, I'm not sure about his level 3. Like, I kind of like the one from 14. where he swipes across the screen and the screen goes red. I think that one's called Yatagarasu. But I did do an animation test on the one you're talking about. I think. Here, yeah, Shiki Homura Hoto guy. Yeah, it's this one, right? I did a little animation test on this to see what it would look like. If that's the one you're talking about. It's the one from KOF 13. It was his super duper max. Yeah. It looks alright. It's okay. I had to draw a couple frames to get it looking right, but I don't know. Part of me thinks that it's a little unimpressive, maybe? It's also really just like mostly just this jump animation and a couple of reused frames. Like, they got really lazy with that one. Let's see, did I only do his max animation standing? Oh yeah, we were working on getting his traditional pose in here. None of these are A-Sprite files, so I'm not sure. Might be this one. Yeah, we were working on restoring his original pose. Or the version where he holds the character by the neck. Oh, from 2002. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem quite as impressive to me. I'm sure I could make it look cooler, but I don't know. He's got so many damn supers. I'm a bit undecided about it. Let's see, I tried one where I gave him the actual red stripe instead of it just being a black. This is probably the most current one, but I wasn't sure about adding the actual red to the belt. It's okay, but I don't know. I think they might have made the right decision to just make it black and make it sort of a lesser detail. It does look like it gets bulky, right? Yeah, then this must be the one that's just with the black. I think it looks pretty good though, the stance. Has 20 supers, but everyone just uses, yeah, Otome. Yeah, pretty much, right? So what I was thinking, instead of having two versions of Otome, I would have a level 2 only of Otome, and if you wanted to make it the level 3, you use the extension, this extension super on it. Because PFEX only has 3 bars of super. Or 3 bars a meter, rather, and then 1 bar is for EX, 2 bars is for super, and 3 bars is for full power super. But why would you... It doesn't make sense to have Otome level 2 and level 3 if you could just go into Otome level 2 and then do another bar. Oh, oops. Oh, everything fell. And then just use another bar to use the extension super. So why not just keep Otome at a 2 bar only, and then if you hit it and you've got an extra bar, then you can hit them with the extension, and then it creates, essentially, they both add together for 3 bars of damage. Instead of having them, you know, what would the sense of a 3 bar Otome be? If you could just do the 2 bar and then the extension, which equals 3 bars anyway. You know what I mean? So I think that's the route I want to go with that. Also, because it's kind of cool to do an extension super. Ryu has one already. Oh, wait, he's not. You can't parry projectiles with Ryu. Let's pick. Let's pick Terry. Okay. So he's got that, but he's got the extension to do 3 bars. So, you spend 2 bars to load... You spend 2 bars to load Kakafubatsu. And then you can spend 1 more bar on the parry to do that. I also currently have it added to this. If I can do it. Yeah. I also currently have it added to this, but I don't know if it would make sense to ever do it. Because you can do other specials out of it. Like, you could do this. Why would you spend the 1 bar on the other one if you could do, like, a whole combo after? I don't know. I thought about maybe not allowing, specials to happen after it. But it is kind of cool to have specials after it. So, I don't know. Or I thought that maybe you had to spend this bar to pop them up in the air to then do more stuff. It's also possible. And that you couldn't get just a straight up special cancel out of it. You had to do that first, but I don't know, I'm a little undecided about that. I do like the new HUD though. New HUD's doing it for me. Well, it's cool. It's got a little bit of depth now. Kind of sticks out a bit, right? And all the outlines are colored, just like the outlines on the characters are colored too. You can use it off target combo too. So it's pretty powerful. Oh, messed that up. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Oh, that's not what I wanted either. Wait, if we get in the corner, I think I can do this. Ah, hold on. Alright, gotta think. What do I want to do? Yeah, he does have... Yeah, Iori does have a different level of Otome in the KOF games, but you can't use the follow-up with it because... I don't know. Whatever. For whatever reason, you can't do it. It's very different. That's why it kind of... I don't know. It feels a little overly designed. Like they added something that no one's ever going to use. So I wanted to strike a balance there to actually have it be a used thing. You know? Let's see. Oh, I know what I want to do. Oh, is that... Maybe that doesn't work? Let's see. Ah! Ah! The timing on the cancel here is tough. No, that doesn't work. Okay. I thought that would work, but I guess not. Ooh. Yeah, that shit's gotta get toned down. I could have done a super after that. I don't know, Ryu's come out pretty good so far. He's got some pretty flashy shit. Hello! Hey, Asian Pikachu, you haven't been here in a while. I remember you, though. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Really digging the HUD. I think it looks a lot better now. A bit more advanced than just flat shapes, right? And it's got that shadowing to it like the rest of the game has. The menus have that too, not these ones, but the character select menu has drop shadows on it. See all that stuff does. This has drop shadows. So it makes sense that the light bars also have drop shadows. They just gotta be a lot smaller because there's a bit of information crunch going on. What, people? What do you want? What's up? Peeper jumped on the chair a while ago. She hasn't really been making any noise, so I didn't bring any attention to it. Oh. Yeah, that Kakufubatsu offensive mode really adds a lot to Ryu's gameplay. Now, it does cost 2 bars to activate, but you can kind of choose when to use it, which is really cool. Or use it as a parry. I think the powerful thing about it is even though you use 2 bars, you can stock more bars in the meantime, right? And you can really unleash some hell. Like, do that stuff right in the beginning, right in the first round, or right in the round. If you come in with 3 bars, like use Ryu as an anchor, right? Come in with 3 bars, and look at this. You've already got 2 bars. Boom, boom. Stun him. Shin Shoryuken. Like, you can do some damage with that. And look, he's kind of screwed now. If you got more max, hit him with the alpha counter. Things are actually really shaping up with this. I like how the mechanics are coming together. But I'm not gonna know how it really gonna play until the online works properly. Yeah. Ooh, get him. Oh, and a counter hit power max. Shin Shoryuken. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful damage. Look at that beautiful damage. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Actually, today I feel pretty awake and aware and all that. It's probably because I slept like 1,000,000 hours. I had a sleep deficit going on, and I guess I caught up. Oh, don't make a mistake with Ryu. Just don't make a mistake. Oh. Yeah, I think Ryu's gonna be really cool. He's based... The design philosophy I have for him is... Without meter, Ryu doesn't do too much. So Ryu's a late bloomer. He blooms in the latter half of the round. If you bring him out when you have no meter, not advised. But he kind of like... the motion let you see the flag over the bridge, but I know what you mean. I would prefer Ryu's Alpha 1, 2, and 3 sound. 1 and 2 sound. Wait, prefer Alpha 1 and 2. Wait, he sounds different in Alpha 1 and 2 than 3? Really? I guess I haven't really noticed too much. Yeah? I just basically took from Alpha 3. Eventually I might take the modern voices from them, but I'll have to sample them down a little so they sound retro-y. It was, his Alpha 3 and Marvel 2 voices sound a little bit different, but they're close enough that I actually mixed and matched them and like nobody's noticed yet. So the Shoryuken, that's from Alpha 3. But this one, come on. Oh, wait, I gotta actually hit him. That one's from Marvel 2. I took the Shoryuken from Marvel 2 and used it for the Shin Shoryuken, where the normal one sounds like that. Oh. Ah! Damn it, why can't I do it? There. They sound pretty similar, but if you listen to the full set side by side, you can tell it's something very different. Oh! This one too, this voice sample. That's from Marvel 2. I don't know what it's used for, but I was rifling through the files and I was like, oh yeah, that works. So long as it doesn't sound too Genesis Mega Drive retro. Well, when I mean retro, like the sound fidelity of the voice clips from the current games are really high, but they had to compress them back in the day for like the old arcade games. So that's why the voices kind of sound the way that they do. And so what I'd do is I'd kind of probably downsample them. I don't know the exact technical details of it, but they're compressed, so they sound a bit different. I'd have to compress the new ones to work with the old ones. So say, just for the sake of argument, did we pull someone out of Street Fighter 5? Did we add G to the game? The G's voice samples, he was never an alpha. So we have to take those and we'd have to take those voice samples and we'd have to downsample them, compress them, and make them sound like they were coming from the old arcade board. And so we could do that with even the current characters. So I could take Ryu's current Street Fighter 5 voices, which I think it's the same as Street Fighter 4. You could take both of those, or Ken's from Street Fighter 4 and 5. It gives you a much greater sample set of voices too. And then just downsample them and put them in here. Like that might work. I really like G. Can you imagine a Pocket G? Oh, he'd be crazy. So I'm not picking the characters just based on the ones that I like, though. Otherwise, season 2, you'd have G and you'd have Vanessa from KOF, and you'd have. Let's see. Well, you'd probably have to have Cammy. We'll give him a different version of Chun-Li. I don't know. I'm just joking though. So I'm trying not to make it a game of just my favorite characters. I want to make it a game for everybody. Any grapplers in season 2? Absolutely. That is one archetype that is completely missing from season 1. And I very much understand that is not acceptable. In fact, most of season 2, I think I'm going to be focusing on diversifying the playstyles. We need more charge characters. We need some grapplers. Just give me the clone Kyos on this. Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, we could have 3 different Kyos and 2 different Ioris, and I don't know, there's like a whole bunch of Terrys. And let's put Garo Terry in. He's different, right? And put Rock Howard in. Yeah, and then they all play the same. Put Evil Ryu in, right? Yeah. It's all the same characters. Just season 2 is just the alternate versions of season 1 characters. And it could easily turn into that if I'm picking favorites. And that's the thing where I'm trying to keep myself a little detached from that and saying like, okay, obviously season 1 is popularity contest. We have the popular characters. We've got Ken and Ryu, we've got Gaia, we've got Chun-Li. You know, we've got Kyo and Iori, Terry and Mai. They're just the popular ones, right? Hold start for Violent Ken. But season 2, yeah, I have to really think about how do we diversify these? We need grapplers, we need more charge characters. Guile's the only charge character. I mean, you could argue that Terry is like a partial charge character. But Guile's the only real charge character in the lineup. We need more charge characters. We need some grapplers. You know, we need some setup characters. I guess they call them set play characters? I don't know. But, you know, characters that need to set up the circumstances in their favor and things like that. Yeah, well, yeah, Leona's a possibility. She's a charge character. Kim, like I said before, he's very popular and also a charge character from SNK. Yeah, right. In KOF 98, there was 2 different versions of Rio. One would air fireballs and one would not. And yeah. So there's all sorts of things to think about with this. You know, I could just add all my favorites, but that wouldn't make necessarily a good game, you know? Go full Mugen and God Shinakuma. Yeah. But that's the other thing too. I don't want to get too... I don't want this to feel like a Mugen game. I want this to feel legit, you know? So there's a lot of consideration to it. A lot of thought goes into who gets in and how to make those characters mesh in the new gameplay and how to make them look good. You know, obviously I've taken some cues that are outside, like Ryu's Shinko Doken here. You would never see the Shinko Doken this big in Street Fighter. Like how where there's 2 different levels, there's one small one, and then there's one big one. That's a very Marvel kind of mentality. But I'm okay with that. And I think adding that bit of extra flair goes a long way. And you can see that too in Match of Millennium is very much like this, the Neo Geo Pocket Color game. So if we go to Chun-Li, where is... Did I make an animation for it? I don't think so, no. Chun-Li has... This. This is her Kokosho Super from Match of the Millennium. It's actually her Marvel one. She has 2 different versions of it. Where's the effects here? Here. She's got the normal one from Alpha, but then her Max version of it is actually the Marvel one. But I like that. I think that's cool. I think that really helps. I think that looks really cool, and I want to do things like that. I want things to look like they're a bit higher level than Street Fighter. Not quite Marvel, but I want things to look cool like this, you know? They skipped over Third Strike 1, which would be the intermediate. Yeah, I don't know if Third Strike may have just come out or was in production at that point. Let's see, when was Third Strike? Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. But yeah, Third Strikes is kind of the intermediary, right? And maybe they just felt that the resolution, the Marvel aesthetic, worked better for this resolution too. So I don't know. Let's see, Third Strike was in 1999 and Match of the Millennium was... was 1999. Yeah, so Third Strike probably wasn't out long enough to have been influencing this yet. Yeah. That would be my guess. Third Strike wasn't really out long enough, and they had made this before that point because they both came out the same year. Yeah, a few months after Third Strike. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been enough time to have adapted it. But I think the Marvel one just looks cool anyway. It looks really cool with the inner orb and the electricity shooting out. It just looks really awesome. And so I'm going to use that, or I'm planning to at least, when we get the Chun. And then I want her kick super in the air. They put that in Match of the Millennium too, and that thing's great. That came from Marvel. That was never in any of the Street Fighters. How you doing? What are you working on tonight? Yeah, we got off track, but we got we got a new HUD going on here. We enhanced it, add some drop shadows, changed up some of the font here and there. I think it looks great. Oop. Oh, that didn't work out. Ah! Too late. There it is. But yeah, we added the drop shadows and changed the coloring on the numbers and stuff. I think it looks cool. How about the music? Are they from Capcom? A couple of the tracks still are, but all the character themes and the character select theme are done by Maxi the Man. They're all his tracks. Which you're not hearing here because I got, a playlist going. But if you download the game, you can hear them. So the character select and all the character themes are special tracks. The character themes are arrangements. So Maxi composed the arrangement, but obviously not the original theme. He based it off the original theme. And then what am I trying to say? Then the character select theme is an original composition by Maxi. Just to make those clear. You can check in the credits. I have all this information in there. Most people just don't know it's there because they would never think to look. But yeah, it's all here. The characters that appear. Pixel art from the games that we used. Pixel art from other games. Here's the our contributors here for pixel art. LD did the logo. Tim did the logo pixel art. It's all here. The font. The the sound effects. The different games we took the sound effects from. And here, original and remix compositions. That's Maxi. The main menu theme is from, I think, Street Fighter EX3. Yeah, here. No, wait, music is from other games. Yeah, this is the credits and extra menu. Music is this. Is a Tatsunoko versus Capcom extra menu theme. And then the character edit theme is what we have for the main menu right now. I mean, those eventually get replaced. Oh yeah, and then the victory theme from Garou. Those will get replaced eventually with compositions from Maxi. But right now, that's the ones that are there. So, but it's all there. All the credits are there. You just gotta look. That one may have been a little bit different than what you download currently out there, because we've had other contributors join and stuff. But when a new version comes out, you'll see that. So it's all there. Just gotta look. I try to be diligent with that. Yeah. Wait, Ryu is from Street Fighter? Yeah. Yeah, he is. You'd be surprised at how many people don't read, don't understand what the project is really about. I've had I'd had third world countries attempt to come to me and be like, hey, you want to publish this game? And I'm like, so do you want to, you just want to be sued by Capcom, or, you know, yeah, Terry is from Smash. Yeah, right. I don't know. You'd be surprised how wild the internet is, but I don't know. We've dotted our I's and we've crossed our T's, and that's the best we can do. If people don't want to read, then, you know, it is what it is. I mean, when the game boots up, it literally says this is a fan game. It's not meant to be sold. You know, these are Capcom's and SNK's characters, and etc., etc. And I still get messages from, like, third world nation publishers that are like, hey, you want to publish your game? I'm like, no. Like, did you even read the disclaimer on the game itself? Yeah, hey, you want to rip off someone's IP? Come on, it'll be fun. Yeah, for real, right? No, I don't think it's realistic that Capcom or SNK would want to license this, and both of them would have to do so. It's hard enough for. It really is hard enough for big studios to trust their IP to big studios, you know? When Capcom and SNK were first collaborating, they were a little nervous about it. They were like, I don't know, you know, is Capcom gonna treat Terry Bogard with as much respect as we have for Terry Bogard? And it turned out to be the answer was absolutely yes. And SNK was very happy with the results of it. But it's really something to think about, you know, some no-name Twitter guy like me, they're not gonna trust that to me. Are you crazy? They can barely trust each other on this kind of stuff. What, you know, why would they trust their characters, you know, to what I'm doing? It wouldn't make any sense. And then both of them would have to agree to do it, and why wouldn't they just make it? You know what I mean? So it's very unreasonable to think that they would ever want to license this in any way, shape, or form. And to be honest, even if they did, you know, that would change how the game is going to be anyway. You know, there's going to be a different expectation there. There's going to be a different way of developing at that point. And it would be potentially, you know, I would say, I'm not sure if I would even want it to do that. It might change the game and force it in directions that I wouldn't have normally have taken it. So it being a fan game might actually just be the best case scenario. At least that's how I feel about it. And that's fine. As long as Capcom and SNK just want to let me live, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't... Oh, hello. Okay, good night. Love you too. Yeah, she's been sitting here a while. I know. Well, now you're making noise. Purr, 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 purr. Purr, purr. What are you growling for? Is that a chicken growl? Now you're looking around, she probably thinks food's coming. Yeah, I mean, Capcom's really cool with fan games. As long as you don't try to, like, sell it, or, like, put it on Steam or something, then they kind of just... I'm not sure if maybe that they don't care, but they maybe even appreciate it. They seem really cool about it, they seem really relaxed. And I've never seen SNK go, you know, headhunting either. I mean, you know, look at how many Mugen KOFs there are out there, and they're still alive. What was it? Wing KOF was like a Flash game, and that thing's been around for like 10 years or something. Yeah, they're pretty cool with that too, it seems. So I'm not too worried. But hey, if either of them come down and they're like, hey, take it out, we don't want it, shut her down, and it's like, okay, well, that's the end of the show. And I've realized that's a possibility from the very beginning. So I am prepared for it if it ever happens, and we'll just comply and go on our merry way. Well, now Sega did not just pick up Sonic Mania. They made a deal to make Sonic Mania. That's a different situation. So they hired that team to port Sonic 2 to Android. And that's what impressed Sega so much, that they listened to the pitch to make an original Sonic game. So that's a very different situation. They didn't just pick up Sonic Mania. Yeah, they commissioned Sonic Mania to be made. It was not the other way around. Yeah, it's, you do not... very rarely do you see something where a fan game has been made and then it turns official. Very, very rarely. And I can only even think of one case where that's happened, and that was Melty Blood started as a fan game, and then Type Moon's like, hey, that's really cool, you just like want to sell it? Like, we'll just publish it. And they're like, oh, okay. But it's very, very, very very unusual for that to happen.
Mega Man versus Street Fighter, what happened? Start that way?
Okay, Mega Man vs. Street Fighter, if you heard Amber in the back. It was a fan game, but Capcom just uploaded it on their site. They promoted it, but they didn't publish it, and they didn't sell it. So it's kind of a different situation. And they've never done it again. Yeah, there's gonna be new Melty Blood, yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how that turns out. It's also gonna have rollback, so that's gonna be a day one purchase for me. Yeah, still amusing how fans made a better game than Sega / Sonic Team has done in years. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Western devs are a bit different with this. So, yeah, like you said, like Portal and stuff. That Portal was kind of like a tech demo, and then they decided to fund it. It's a little different. Valve's a little different with that stuff. And Western devs are a bit more open to that thing, but Japanese devs, not so much. You know, there's still that thing of, you know, it's made in Japan, it stays in Japan, and, you know, we don't want outsiders touching our shit. So, it is what it is. Yeah, well, Sonic Boom was one of the worst 3D games in the series. Yeah, that was pretty much how it started. Sonic Mania started as, hey, we can do ports of your games, and Sega's like, all right, cool. And then they kind of worked they built that relationship, you know, they built that repertoire with Sega, and they're like, hey, look, we're good for it. We know what we're doing. You know, look how good these ports came out. We've got the experience. Why don't we just make a game out of it? And that's how Sonic Mania came around. I don't know. I haven't watched the TV Sonic Boom. It didn't quite catch my interest. Put it that way. Especially not the game either. Yeah, exactly. That got them in the position. It got them trust with Sega. It got them experience, and it, you know, they were able to prove that they could handle it. Let's see. I don't think we're gonna add drop shadows to these. I don't think it would. I think it'll look fine without it. Trying to think of what else. Oh, this is funny. I didn't even really think about this, but the color here looks like the color I used up here. Actually, it might be slightly different. Well, we'll change that so they're the same. But it's the same kind of outline style too. That all actually kind of worked out really good. I like it. Oh, one thing that's... I don't know if I like that or not. Oh, the blue here doesn't meet the blue up here. Don't know how I feel about that. Kind of thinking about it now, should the black be separated and the blue extend up through? Where's the blue? Where's the blue bar? There it is. Would extend up through and cover the black when it slides in. That might actually look really cool. Let's see, what layer is this on? HUD -1. And this is probably HUD 0, right? Oh, I had it there. Yeah, that's HUD 0. So it would have to be like HUD -2. Yeah, okay, hold on. Maybe we can do something with that. Now I'm curious. So we've got that one, right? But let's save it as top frame under, right? And we're going to cut this part off. There. Cut this down. Right, and this is the under version. Right? Yeah. And then we'll take the original top frame and we'll remove the black from here. Oh, it was actually a different black. That's funny. Well, we're changing it now. And we'll save that. So then we need to import the under here. And we'll do the same. Oh, it's top left, really? Okay, that's fine. Top left. Full rect. Yeah. These should really be the same. Full rect. No physics shape. No filtering. No compression. This should not have a physics shape either. Okay, and then here we've got this one. HUD top frame. Oh, it's a different... okay. Well, let's add, create an empty. Uh-oh, that's my time up. That's alright. We'll go into overtime. So, top frame under. And this has a sprite renderer. Oop, not red, renderer. There we are. So, top frame under. And it's the sprite material. We're on the HUD layer. So, HUD. And it'd be -2. Yeah. And it'll have to come down a few pixels here to meet. So 0.8 looks about right. Yeah. Time's up? Yeah, I keep myself on a timer so I don't run too long, but it's also more of a, you know, if I'm really tired, then it kind of reminds me, hey, you did your 2.5 hours. You can clock out, but if you want to go ahead and do more, then There's certainly the option for that. Learned how important npot is to making WebGL version. What's npot? Npot? Makes your images way bigger and loader to run in the browser. Oh, and longer to run in the browser. On image importer. Okay, wait, hold on. What are we talking about here? npot? What's npot? If it's not power of 2. Oh! Not power of 2. Yeah, okay. Wait, so where is that? Okay, let me read that again. So... Oh, okay, yeah, if you make it power of 2. Okay, so power of 2 textures, that's an old compatibility thing. But yeah, non-power of 2 textures, yeah, okay. Here's the thing. If you made this, and it had to be a power of 2 texture, actually we can cut this one down too, so that reminds me to do that. If you made this a power of 2 texture, you would have to say, what this is 224 by 14. So let's do this real quick, right? 256 would be the nearest width that you'd have to use, but 15, you would need 16. So you would have to do 256 and 16. And then your new texture would look like this. This one's not too extreme of a case, but you can get some really bad results if you have to use a power of 2 for your for your width and height, and see all the extra space that gets added to it. And this is, again, this is an old compatibility thing, old computers and old versions of like DirectX and stuff kind of needed this. Old graphics cards needed this, but it's not a thing that we need to use anymore, thank God, because yeah, you're right, it eats up space really bad. And the other ones are really bad where, what if you need them to be square too? Well, your sprite is now loaded in RAM like this. You don't need all that extra space, but you, for compliance reasons, you have to have, yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Alright, let's pull up a different playlist. What do we got here? Yeah, screw it, Alpha 2. Everybody loves Alpha 2. Yeah, it can get really hairy. So, yeah, where is that power of 2 setting? I don't know if it's here or if it's somewhere else. I don't see it. Format? No. Max size? No. I don't know. Unless I'm blind, I don't see it here. But it might be like a project setting thing. Or it might be a even not just a project setting thing, but a platform setting thing. So you might like certain platforms you want it to do it. But yeah, you don't want all that extra space because it bloats the hell out of your RAM. So yeah, don't do that. No, Maxi did the music for free. He offered to do it for free. Now, Maxi doesn't normally do music for free, so if you're gonna hit him up for a great theme song for your OC, be prepared to potentially spend some money. But yeah, everything's here a volunteer thing. I don't have money to pay people, so If you want to help out, it is at your own discretion. And it's not something we can sell, so, you know, we didn't know. Number one, I don't want to sell it. You know, it's not my property. But we can't anyway. So there's no way to, like, pay people for, you know, the stuff now or later. So it's, yeah, it's just a community project. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so this now is, yeah, it's under the blue, but it's over the black. And that's what I wanted. So let's see how this looks. Make sure everything is all put together properly here. Okay, so nothing looks different in this part, and that's good. Oh, I must have been, hold on, I must have been holding the, button down, or the analog stick down while I turned the controller on. There we go. Now it's alright. So let's check. Check what it looks like in the rounds here.
Hey, come on. Nobody blame.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Beat 'em up, guys.
That looked cool. I like it. I think it might have gone under the portraits. But we can fix that too. It's no biggie.
You win.
I like the new round icons too, are really cool. Well, where are they? Oh, they're gonna go after the intro, right? Yeah. Stay maximized, damn it. There we are. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's under that part, but it does mesh nicely here. Yeah, okay, couple of things. The round numbers here. Yeah, we've gone too far. They're not in there anymore. A couple things we gotta change. One is the round numbers. Oh, where are they? Yeah, hold on. Gotta open an editor. Bring these in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna literally just chop off the bottom. And we'll see what that looks like. Okay, it did move them down, that's okay. We will, honestly, since we're here, I'm gonna chop off the top too. If I gotta re-import them anyway, then whatever. It is what it is. So we're gonna say, let's see, these are top left. We're gonna slice by cell count. We've got 10 columns, 1 row, delete existing, and top left. And boom, there we go. Let's apply that. And now they were up on top, and that's fine, I expected that. Oh, and the timer's got its own, it's on its own little thing anyway. So, 6.2? Yeah. Alright, that fixes that part. Now we need to get to... Where are the displays here? Okay, we don't want bottom frame. Actually, in fact, this I want to make this like -5. And then when we get to portraits here, life bar, left name, name left, name right. Yeah, icons here. Portrait right, portrait left. And should be like a name ender here somewhere. And we'll grab them in a minute. I'm gonna say they're all -4. So that's one above that. And then let's see, what's this one? Oh, here's the name left and right. In fact, I'm going to move those up here. So name ender left, name ender right. And they're also going to be... No, that one's going to be -5. It's going to go under the other ones. With the black there. Okay, let's see if that messed anything up first. Okay. At face value, it looks like we have the same imagery. Oh, and I missed it.
Hey, come on, stand up.
Alright, let's do it again. Show me potato salad. Yeah, it's going over it now. That's the effect that I wanted. I want the blue to be connected, right? And it goes over the black, and the black is connected to the black, and the blue is connected to the blue. And yeah, it's doing extra layering crap to get that to look right, but that is fine. And then it comes through, and look at that.
Hey, come on, stand up. Go for it, man.
Yeah. That looks good. Cool, okay, I'm glad that I noticed that. And then now the round timer's fixed. And we got the new round markers. I don't have the conditions set yet, but eventually we can add, like if it was a perfect, it can be a P. If it's chip death, it can be cheese, you know, things like that. And tell us a little more about what happened in the match. And they're kind of fun. They're like fun little cameo things.
Nobody blink. Beat 'em up, guys.
Yeah, that looks good. I like it. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it looks sick. I think the UI is really coming together now. It looks way better than it used to. Way better. Cool. Yeah, that shit looks good. Finally happy with the UI. The color in blues here is different. I'm gonna have to change that too. Kind of have to like make everything a little bit more synergistic. Hello, welcome. I apologize, you do not speak Spanish. So, or Portuguese. I only know English. I'm a dumb boy. Yeah, that shit looked good. Alright, I'm happy with that. We're gonna save that before it blows up. What is up with this? The width and the height are fine. Material is Sprite. That's what's bugging it, apparently. If I go back to Sprite, it screws up. So what's weird about Sprite here? What's interesting here that might make it do that? Whoa! Wait, that sort of fixed it. Pixel snap? Pixel snap. Oh, GPU instancing is screwing it up. Oh, that's interesting. But GPU instancing is good, right? Wait, so if I turn GPU instancing off, does that fix the glitch? That's not gonna make me happy, because I think that's an optimization thing. Hey, I casually stop by your stream every once in a blue moon just to see how it's going. Looking great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, look at that. I took off GPU instancing and it fixed it. What the heck? Unity, please. Please, what are you doing? Unity, you're killing me. I don't know, I guess we'll turn it off for now, but I think that's an optimization thing. Let's look that up quick.
It all depends on your skill. Speed 'em up, guys.
Alright. Unity, shader, GPU instancing. Alright, Unity says GPU instancing to draw or render multiple copies of the same mesh at once using a small number of draw calls. Yeah, it's an optimization thing. And it's killing me. It's not working right. Yeah, you just turn it on. I wonder what happened. I wonder why that bugs it now. Well, I'm gonna have to make note of that. Question for you, I managed to finally catch you live. My friend and I are considering net rollback on a custom little fighter we have, but we're not sure if it's worth diving into now. Any advice for beginning developers? In my personal opinion, if your fighting game does not have rollback online, it's not going to be worth people's time to play it. Because they'll have to go to... It'll be a frustrating experience one way or another. So if you want to go in with the full gambit of actually having netcode, do everything you can to get rollback working. But it might be easier to understand how rollback works before you get into that. Because otherwise you're left with delay-based netcode or you're left with parsec, and both delay-based netcode and parsec are terrible for fighting games at any distance. If you live in the same city and you've got your $100 billion Google Fiber 10 gigabit connection and you're playing with your next door neighbor, then parsec works fine. If you don't have that, or you have any considerable distance between you and the other player, parsec's not going to work fine. It's going to be very laggy, and it's not going to be a very good experience. And you also have uneven lag, so the host has no lag, and all the lag is on the opponent, and that's not really fair, and etc, etc. Although it's very easy to set up, the results are not good for a fighting game. But what I would probably recommend is to make a small rollback netcode demo to understand how netcode and rollback works first. Then you build your fighting game with those lessons that you learned in mind. And they're gonna be, here's the bullet points. Don't use floating point math. If you don't know what that means, you're gonna have to look it up. You wanna use fixed point math. Because floating point math, the TLDR there is doing a multiplication or division operation, or even an addition one sometimes, on a computer with decimal numbers, with a floating point decimal number. You're going to get a different answer on one computer than you are on another computer. And if your games have to be in 100% sync, that ain't good. That's an instant desync on every single mathematical calculation that you have. So you need to use fixed point math to make sure your math is consistent on all the devices that are being played on. Floating point numbers are completely inconsistent. You cannot trust them in any circumstance. Some people will tell you that you can. You can't. Don't use them. The amount of erroring that happens, the deviation on answers that you get, depends on your operating system, your processor. Your motherboard can influence it. It's a nightmare. There's no way to guarantee that they're going to be the same on all platforms, especially if you do like, I want to play netcode between Windows and Android. Well, guess what? Windows and Android have different specs on floating point numbers, so that's going to influence your stuff. Don't use them. And you need to decouple your rendering code from your game code. So typically in a game, what happens is here, let me unpause it here. Actually, let me go to training mode. It'll be a little easier to explain. That way the timer's not going down and it's not pissing me off. Typically what happens when you render a game, the game updates, like where Ryu is jumping, the jumping code updates, and Ryu's punching, and the attack code updates, and we handle things like Terry getting hit and all that stuff. The animation is handled in the game update and all that stuff. But what you have to do is keep that separate from the actual visuals being drawn on the screen. So all the animation, all the data updates on the back end, and then phase 2 of the game update is painting that to the screen. It paints the backgrounds, it paints the characters onto the screen, it renders everything all there. When you do rollback, you have to be running the game 7 times the normal speed that the game would normally be running at, essentially. I would say that'd be around your minimum that you want to do. You want to be able to run the game 7 times the speed that it's normally at. And that's because you're constantly rewinding and catching up. When you do a rollback, it rewinds time and it updates the game behind the scenes, and it corrects the timeline by doing an update up to 7 times. And I think 7 is what MKX uses, and Injustice 2. That was their target. They wanted to have 7 simulation frames. And when I say simulation frames, that's data updates on the game. That's Ryu's jumping is updating, and his attacks are updating. All the stuff behind the scenes that has nothing to do with rendering the sprites to the screen. It's an animation, sure. But the animation, the data of the animation says, we're using this sprite, and these hitboxes are loaded, and shit, I'll just show the hitboxes. We got these hitboxes loaded, and that's what the game is currently, the data side of the game. You have to be able to run that a bunch of times before it ever prints to the screen. If you integrate your drawing code in with your update code, it's going to take way longer to update the game, because then your update drawing during your rollback, and that's going to slow it down substantially. So keep those separate, completely separate. In Unity, that's a little hard. You have to do some big workarounds to get fixed math and to get the updates outside of all that. Now, Unity's rendering and their updates are separate, but their update does not allow you to call manually. So it updates its stuff, it updates the data, and then it will render, but you can't tell Unity, hey, can you update like 3 times for me, or 4 times, or whatever in a loop? You can't do that. It doesn't allow you to do that. As far as I'm aware, I have not found a way to do it. And I've read that it's not possible to force it to do that. So I had to make my own update code and keep all the objects I want in its own loop, and that's a whole other story. But the bottom line is you have to be able to call an update at any point in time. You have to be able to update your data without printing it to the screen. That's important. Because when a rollback comes in, again, it's going to say, hey, rewind 7 frames and update 7 frames on your data end. And that's how we correct the timeline. We insert the proper inputs and we replay the game in a split second. In 1 frame, we replayed like 7 or 8 frames on the data end to correct. That's where you get those teleports from in rollback. It's correcting the timeline by going back in time and then fast forwarding in that split second. You have to be able to have an engine that does that. And yeah, like I said, when you use rollback on old games, like when they did it with emulated games, you know, it had to just render it because there was no separation between the rendering and the data update. Yeah, it's not easy, but if you can get it to work, it works. Yeah, so like when they did rollback on emulated games, like the Samurai Showdown collection and all that, they didn't have a choice. They had to make it fast enough to play the game at like 7x speed, including the rendering. But since there's such an old game, it's fine. You know, there's enough horsepower to push that kind of thing. You think of like a fast forward button on emulators. You know, you can run the game several times the speed that it normally is because the hardware now is so good. But if you're making the game and you're in charge of the coding, you want to avoid that at all possible. You do not want that to happen because it's going to be an efficiency trap. It's going to kill your game. And the faster and the better that it works, you know, people with lower end computers can play it. Or for mobile, it's very important for mobile because mobile devices aren't really the most high powered things out there. So you have to keep that in mind. That aside, let's see. So I went over the fixed point versus floating point numbers. I went over the rendering and the update loop. I mean, those are really the big ones, I think. You have to be able to update on demand whenever the rollback engine says, hey, I need you to update, you need to update. Well, so like GGPO, if you go with using GGPO, you check in with it and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna hook into your game and I'm gonna control it now. So whenever GGPO says jump, you jump, you know, metaphorically. If it wants an update, you have to do an update. If it wants to load a state, you load a state. And it kind of takes control of that. And your game needs to be able to respond to those commands appropriately. So I guess to touch on a little bit more about the fixed math thing, that the goal of the reason why you need to have those accurate calculations, because your game needs to be in sync. And the word that we use to describe keeping them in sync is essentially determinism. Deterministic means if you set up all the data the same way and you play the game with the same inputs from the controller, it will be exactly 100% the same every time. Think of it as a replay function. If you have a replay function, you're just saving the controller input. Oh, on this frame he was pressing this button, on this frame he was holding back, whatever. You save that log of inputs, and if you play it back, your game needs to play exactly the same way every time on every different computer, every different platform, every different operating system needs to be 100% the same. Because when you do rollback netcode, you send the controller data. You don't send anything else. Because if you program the game properly, if your game is deterministic, that's all you need. You rewind the game, you plug in the input from player 2, and you play the game. When you update the data, it should be the same result every single time. And that's where the fixed math comes in. You need it to be 100% deterministic on all your gameplay stuff. If you have like HUD stuff, it doesn't need to be deterministic. It's just display data. If you have, in fact, most of the graphics don't really need to be deterministic. It's really the data end. It's the hitboxes. Where's this hitbox at right now? What's its position? What did it overlap? you know, when I press this button, that animation needs to load exactly on point. The hitboxes need to be where they need to be 100% of the time, every time. You know, that kind of stuff. But if you have a character in the background in the stage doing their own little animation, you don't need to worry about that. That doesn't need to be deterministic. All your gameplay needs to be deterministic. And that's hard. That's not easy. That does take a bit of considerable thinking to make sure you have that right. And I'm working all of that out now, where Unity's engine is not deterministic at all, 100% unreliable. It uses all floating point numbers, and I'm reprogramming Unity, essentially. Not the engine, not reprogramming the engine, but I'm programming components to work in Unity that have fixed point math. So I'm making my own animation system that acts like Unity's, but it's with fixed point numbers. That's what I'm doing right now. That's the step I'm on. I've got the positioning of objects correct. I've got collisions that are deterministic. But I'm working on animation now. And it's rough. It's taken a long time. I started doing these deterministic updates in January 2020. And I'm still working on it. So when people ask me, hey, would you recommend making a fighting game in Unity? I don't know yet. I actually don't know if I would recommend that yet. As it's been a lot of work to get Unity to do what I want it to do. And actually, I can show this. I'll just bring it right up. Here, deterministic Unity engine. I have a working rollback demo. Let's see. This is the animation one. So, if I play the animation here. Now, Unity's animator can animate... Oh, hold on. I gotta refresh my... There we go. Unity's animator can animate basically everything. It animates numbers, essentially. So when you have the animation here, I'm actually changing the numbers on these fields, on these components. And what I'm doing is I'm taking Unity's animation clip and I'm deconstructing it into a fixed math version of that. And then I'm playing that fixed math version of the animation clip. And you can see it here calculating all the numbers to update this component with. And it updates the Boolean and all that. And it's all based on this animation here. So see, these fields are animated with Unity's animator. And then I deconstruct that here. I take the animation clip and I deconstruct it into all of its data components and do all that stuff. Reaper, what? What are you singing for? What? I don't know if you can hear the chicken. She's sitting on the back of my chair, making little humming noises or something. And it's not complete yet, but yeah, it's getting there. And that's the basic tenets of rollback netcode. Oh, and the save and load state. I mean, I mentioned it, but just to put it at a point, you have to be able to save the game state and store it and then load it at some point. You know, that's how it rewinds time. It saves the data on your data end every frame, and then it says, and it goes like, hey, I need you to go back to frame 150. And so you pull data for frame 150, you load your state into your data end, and then it's going to tell you to update however many frames it needs to go. And that's how it goes back in time by loading the state, and then it resimulates the data end up to the current time. And that's how the rollback occurs. So you need save state and load state, and it's time consuming. I wouldn't say that was the hardest thing to do, but I'm also running into that operation is really slow, and I'm trying to find ways to optimize that. So I can show you the full thing here. This is just the animation test. I got it on its own so that I can work on it on its own, but here's the rollback test. Do the light version. So here, it's doing 1 frame of rollback. Let's see, we're in VSync, right? Let's turn VSync off. I'm getting 280, 300 frames per second, 250, 300. And here's all the stats. It's doing 1 rollback frame. Each data update is taking an average of 1.16 milliseconds. So we can increase the amount of frames there. Our target frame is 1.5 milliseconds. Our loading is 1.5 milliseconds, average 1.7. Our saving is 0.67. That actually got optimized really hard this last week. I did a big optimization to save state. So the total rollback time here of 1 rollback frame is 3.5 milliseconds on average. GGPO is free now. It used to be something you paid for. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was gonna say, save the link to this VOD, and you'll have it here. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a segment and upload a clip or something. I think people would find it interesting and informative at least. But we can crank this up. So if I go to my rollback test, we're gonna do, let's see, rollback in editor. Can we go to 4? What if we do 4? Yeah. Alright, like in the editor, everything's a little slower. So you gotta take that with a grain of salt. So I'm doing 4 rollback frames now. And you see, I'm moving Ryu, and you do not see any skipping, any jittering, even though we're doing 5 updates every frame. It's rolling back, it's loading the state every frame, and it's doing 5 updates for every frame that you see drawn. So it's doing 5 data updates. Going back in time 4 frames, and then doing 5 data updates. And so the 4 rollback frames plus 1, and the plus 1 is your normal timed update. And you see everything staying in sync. Everything looks good. Nothing looks crazy. The animation here is spinning right. You don't see any drops. You don't see any stuttering. No freakouts. And so that's what I'm doing. Now the animations here are not deterministic. They are getting rolled back, but they are not 100% deterministic because it is using Unity's normal animator, which is not deterministic. But that's why I'm developing the deterministic version. But that one's turning into a real chore. So I guess that's the basic tenets of it. I mean, you can get into the subtopics of each of those categories. You know, there's a whole mindset about how to save data and what data to save and what data to omit, and how you want to build your system to determine what's important and what's not, what gets rolled back and what doesn't get rolled back. You can go on for hours in each one of those topics, but those are the basic things that you want to look out for. You want deterministic. You don't want to use floating points. You want to use fixed points for things that are important. When you render to the screen, you're going to use floating points. You know, that's fine, because it doesn't matter. The visuals have nothing to do with the gameplay being deterministic. You have to think of what needs to be accurate and what doesn't really have to be accurate. Let's see. Also, yes, people would love to hear that. I come at the tail end, but hearing people talk about rollback is always interesting. Yeah, alright. I'll probably make a clip of this then. So, I don't know. I hope you can actually read the text over here. It's a little small. But what I was pointing out here, these are all the stats. So I got my frames per second. Oh, run ahead frames. That's another thing that you can do. Once you have rollback, you can do run ahead. And run ahead is another lag reduction technique where you update the game more times than you need to. Now it can get really weird. I probably won't, you know, I'm not going to get into run ahead too much, but think of it as reverse rollback. It runs the game ahead a couple of frames, 1 or 2 frames, so that when you press a button, you'll see, I actually pressed the button and it was still going over here. When you press a button, you'll see a few frames into the future. What the result that you'll see on screen is actually ahead a couple frames of current time. And for fighting games, I think Fightcade uses this. And because like the input lag, whenever you emulate something, you're going to get some input lag. And if you do a run ahead, you'll get a small visual jitter, but it will feel more responsive because you'll see the result of what happens faster by 1 or 2 frames. Again, that's a little out of the scope of this, but if you have rollback working, it is trivial to add it. Like, I added it in like 2 minutes once I had the rollback working, because you can update as many times as you want. Now, you can update the data without having to update the visuals. And so I can say, hey, you know what? Just update 1 more time. So you do your 4 rollback frames, you do your main update. Let's update just 1 more time, and now you have run ahead. And what'll happen is it will just load the state again anyway, next frame, and continue on. So, you know, you keep everything in sync anyway. That's really cool, but that you can look up better examples of that. It's really hard to describe it in English without actually seeing the result of it. But yeah, so hopefully that helps out. I mean, you got kind of like a baseline idea of what to look for and where to go. So those are the big things: your determinism, save state, load state, and keeping your data update separate from visually rendering the game to the screen. I'd say those are the 3 pillars. So, yeah, we'll cut that into a segment. We'll upload that separate. But yeah, you can, obviously, I leave the VODs up. They're only up for a limited time on Twitch, but if you're on YouTube, so if you look Game Dev Scrubs up on YouTube, they're all there. I keep them saved every week. So, yeah. Alright, cool. Cut segment. It's the end of that. So hopefully that was understandable and not too complicated or convoluted. It's kind of a big topic, so it's a little hard to be basic about it, but I think that should be a good primer. But if you have any questions, then certainly fire them off. What were we doing before? We're looking at numbers. What was I doing now? I get sidetracked all the time. Oh, we didn't do anything with the Judgment Girls yet. Shit. That's alright. That's fine. We could do that next week. I did put a question mark on that topic. But hey, we got the HUD in, and we got all those additional changes that I wanted to the HUD that I didn't even know I wanted until now. Oh, you know what? Hey, let's do this. Let's do this last thing here. Remember how I was saying that I had this thing flashing between yellow and white? Yeah, how come that doesn't do that? Did I plan to do that and forget about it? Let's take a look. Does this have an animation component? It does not look like it. Here's meter controller. Oh, that's meter segment controller. Okay, max meter controller here. Let's take a look at the code. This might be pretty easy to add, actually. Oh no, 4 eaches. 4 eaches are bad. I gotta change those. Did I make note of that? I didn't. Yeah. Here's an optimization tip. Don't use 4 each. Protected for each should be 4 if possible. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but if you ever have the choice, always use 4. A 4 loop over 4 each. 4 each is just slower, and it can also allocate a whole stack of memory before it disappears. So it's no good. But don't do that. I didn't know it at the time, so I used it frequently here, but that's alright. This doesn't need to be in fixed update either. This can actually just be in like late update. Fixed update can run multiple times before the frame renders, but late update only happens once before the frame renders. And again, the HUD is not important. It is not a gameplay important aspect, it's just visual feedback for the player. So, let's see. Is effect active? What does effect active mean? I should have taken way better notes. I must have written this in a hurry. This is horribly unoptimized. And there's no notes. Effect active. Is that used anywhere? Doesn't look like it. Oh, you know what this does? Yeah, okay. What this does? Where is this? Get segments? Here's segments. Yeah, okay, I know what's going on here. I think, anyway. Sprite renders, get component, sprite renderer. That's a wacky way to do it. I don't know why I did it that way. But, I think what it's doing is when max mode is active, it turns off all of these sprite renderers. Yeah. It turns them all off. Yeah, that's when you go into time mode, right? When you activate max mode and it goes to the time bar, that's what that code's doing. It's collecting all the sprite renderers and it's making them go away. It's turning them off. And that's where this is getting, yeah, and it only does it, that's what is effect active. It tracks it so it only does it once when it's on or off. Yeah, that's fine. And I would say is effect active, it's false, and there are segments. What's segments? Yeah. Okay. I would say this is only going to happen when the effect is actually when you can actually see them. Otherwise, you don't need to update them if you can't see them. And that's a efficiency boost. I gotten a little better at programming in the last few years. Let's see. Oh no, they're invisible now. Did I do it the wrong way? I probably have to do it. Let's see. Maybe it's got to be when the effect is active. I don't know. Let's see. I might have reversed the logic there. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Oh, I gotta make him attack. There. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So there's an efficiency boost there. Making games is super cool, and I wish I could make them myself, but coding's really not for me. Coding's not for everybody. That's true. But there's several things you can contribute to. Now, you do have to have a programmer, you know, and that's kind of the linchpin that holds everything together here. But, you know, if you can do art, or you can do music, there's other things you can do to specialize in. I'll change these 4 eaches later, but here's the thing that I want to do. I want to say that, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna have multiple things happen here when effect is active. I want to also, if there is a full bar of max available, play animation for the label. That's what I want to do here. And we're gonna have to have an animator, label animator, we'll call it. Okay, so if, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this here when we re-enable. Yeah, re-enable visuals for the bar and disable visuals for the bar. And I'm gonna say, now we're gonna have to put it down here because this can happen at any point in time. So label animator, we're gonna say, oh, we need names. So public animation name. Was it Wiz Utils or Wiz System? I think it's Wiz System. Let's see. Label on animation and label off animation. What doesn't it like? Not be found. What? Where is it? Or do I not have do I not need a directive for it? Okay, hold on. We're just gonna search for it. Animation name. Here. Okay. Where are you? What are you part of? Wiz System. Oh, .unity. Okay. Yeah. I'm in the process of renaming my library, so I get lost sometimes with it. Uh-oh, where am I? Oh yeah, Max Media Controller. So using Wiz System.unity. There we go. That makes it happy. Okay. So if the animator is loaded, then we want to play. Oh, let's see. Label and we want to get the hash. This is an optimization that I made. You can play animations based on their hashed integer instead of passing the string, which is going to get hashed anyway. It's slower. Okay. So if team data here, Let's see, max mode is active. Max mode is about to expire. And max mode, get time. Oh, I don't have a value for it? Oh, here's max meter stats. Dot. Get max. Sure, that's gonna send me back the value, right? Yeah. So if this is, let's see what other ones we've got here. Oh, we could do has enough, yeah. Has enough max for 1 bar. Let's see, chat says, that's why I only give dumb suggestions for additions here. That's fine. But does it get very annoying when people, including me, keep asking you to add stuff? Even a lot of unreasonable things? No, in fact, it's actually helpful. Because it gives me an idea of what people actually want. And I mean, if it's not doable, it's not doable, and that's fine. And it's not something that I would expect everybody to understand what is and isn't possible, you know, given the limitations of the project and my own limitations and all that. And that's fine. So I would say if you have a suggestion, then just fire away. And the worst that can happen is it doesn't get included. But hey, maybe you'll come up with something I never thought of, or maybe a lot of people have been feeling a certain way about fighting games, that we wish you had this kind of feature in fighting games, and you know, if it's possible, I would love to comply with that. Let's see, we need fighting system switches, current max bar level. I think, what's the definition here? Oh, it doesn't even tell you. Okay, max meter per bar, that's what I want. So I need to know if you have enough for 1 bar, and if you do, then we want on, and then if you don't, then label animator dot play label off Annie dot hatch. So if we have enough, we want to play a certain animation, and if we don't have enough, we want to play the other animation back and forth. Now this is slightly unoptimized, and I'll get to that in a minute, but this should be enough to make it work. So add a block button. Look, this ain't NetherRealm, alright? You're gonna have to hold back. Is it really that hard to hold the opposite direction? I think the block buttons work for certain games, for sure. But it's definitely not a Street Fighter King of Fighters thing, so... That was the correct answer? Alright. Let's see. So games where directionality is not... Directional focus, let's say, is not important, like Smash Brothers, you kind of need a block button. Because you don't know if they're to the left or right of you, or up or down, or whatever, because there's multiple opponents. So which direction would you hold? It's kind of ambiguous, so that makes sense to have a block button in Smash. Now, NetherRealm games, I don't know what the idea with that is. I think they just wanted to be different. Okay, so now we've got... Wait, where'd that max... Here. Here's our max bar. Let's see, here's the label. And we want to put an animator here. And we want to make a new animation. So let's go. We're going to put this in game HUD. Assuming there's a meter, max meter or something in here. Input display, life bar. No. Meter number. Alright, Alright, hold on. Where is this? What folder is this in? Oh, it's under bottom meters? Oh, that's an awful way to... That is bad organization on my part. Bottom meters. So game... HUD... Bottom meters. We'll change that. So max meter. And we're gonna call this max label on. We'll use spaces, that's fine. And so when max label is on, we flicker, I don't know, 3 frames, I guess. See how that looks between these different ones. There, see how it flashes? That's what we want. That's when the label's on. And then max label off is just going to be the yellow frame. So it's going to work a lot like the number down here. So, okay, we've got that. So we'll go here. We'll add the animator. And label on is max label on. And label off is max label off. And that just might do it. So let's take a look. Yep, there it goes. Now it's flashing. And then if I use all my max, then see, now it's off. Now, as long as I keep attacking, it won't refill my max meter. But see now how it's yellow, and I'm gonna let it go. When we get the 1 bar max, now it's flashing, and that lets you know that you can use it. Now the right side you see doesn't do that right now. The Terry's is not doing that because we didn't program it to do that. But see, it flashes just like this one does. So if you use up all your super, see how the number's not flashing? We'll let 1 bar refill. See how the 1 flashes? Because 1 bar is filled. It's just kind of a subtle little indicator. Gives a little more life to it so that you notice it. And we'll just do the same thing to the other side. So here's the label. We'll animator. Let's see, max bar label. Go here. Add the animator. Max label on. Max label off. That should be enough. Whoa, there was a skip in the music there when it was compiling. Yep, and then now Terry's does it too over here. So there we go. We added that now too. How about that? That was an easy, fun little addition, right? But details like that really matter. You know, and it's funny because when I had been playtesting it, I did actually sometimes often wonder, do I have a bar of max or not? And it might have actually been because I forgot to animate that. With the super, you can see it flickering, the whole thing. But with the max, it wasn't. And then when you're in time, it doesn't do anything. It probably shouldn't flicker in time. I thought about changing the time label to like P-max or A-max, but I don't think there's enough space for it. You see how much space max takes up automatically. I thought about changing the color too, so that the red is always for power and that green is for that, but I tried that once and it didn't really flow very well. Because green is already used for the super meter. It got a little weird, kind of meshed together. So I kept max as red, and that kind of works because max is predicated off damage taken primarily. You get a little bit of max, from actually attacking. You'll see here if I keep hitting them. Let's see. Let me change his guard. No, not all guard. But see, as I hit him, I do get some max on my bar. But when he hits me, I get a lot more max. So it's more skewed in favor of those getting damaged. So it's kind of a comeback mechanic, but not strictly. Send him back to auto guard. Oh, that was a waste. He got dizzied, so it didn't hit him. Oh well. Oh, alright, so, let's see. Only thing I would ask for real is smoke coming from the character's mouth in the snow stage. I did, think about that, but I kind of forgot about it too. It's certainly possible. So what you would need to do, and that's actually pretty easy to do, for simplicity's sake, I would probably only do it in their idle animation. But what I would do... Well, let's go to the snow stage, right? Last Blade did this, actually, if you're curious. So if we go to the snow stage here, if you can't tell, I like trains. There's just 3 friggin' train stages, and I got 1 in development, so there's gonna be 4 train stages. Yeah, so what I would do in their animation is I would track a spot that's on their mouth in their idle animation, and it would just be literally just called, oh, you suggested it a long time ago? Hey, that's fine. Sometimes you gotta remind me, because I'll forget about stuff if I don't write them down. But you can add an extra object here to track a position. So, just as an example, this is super easy to do. Let's see, fighters. So if we go to Ryu here, we'll open up his... Oh no, let me close all these. I have to delete them anyway. These are cached objects, but they get weird when they exist, and it makes like 2 copies. Yeah, don't worry about that. So if I go to body, I can add I can say I just call it mouth point. So if I go to Ryu and I double click on him to get close here. We'll go to animation. We'll go to idle. Stand? I don't know what I call it. Did I call it idle? No. Did I call it stand? Yeah, I called it stand. Oh, it's right. It's already loaded. Duh. So what I would do here is then I would take this mouth point and I would adjust it. It might be really hard to see, but there's a faint little circle here. Yeah, we'll do it in the bottom of the mouth. 0.2, 0.3, I guess 0.2. We'll do it on the bottom of the mouth pixel. Right there, and that'll be fine. And then when he bumps up 1, then we need to be 0.6 and then 0.7 to keep it lined up. Back to 0.6. 0.5, 0.4. Yeah, and that should be fine. And then we'll take this here, these three, and we want to make sure that they are not interpolated between frames. We want to make them constant. Then, oh no, they're still. Come on, where are they? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't select them all. And you'll notice the little circle moves with the frames up and down as they are needed. Now they're consistent. So then what I can do is I can make a controller that says when you're on certain stages to generate an object at this point. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. It's actually a pretty easy add. And I can use it for other things too, potentially, if I ever need to lock something onto the mouth, right? So, let's see. How would I do this? Let's go to... Oh, let's turn the music up back. The Final Fight soundtrack is really low, so I gotta turn it up. This is from Final Fight CD. Great, great soundtrack. So if we go to Fighters and... It's not a scripts folder. Tools. Here's scripts here. Well, let's say, cold breath effects controller. And so we would using object. Well, I don't have an object spawner. Maybe it doesn't have a namespace. Oh, what do I call it now? The hell's my object spawning system called? Spawn? No. Man, what is it called? What did I do? Spawner? Let's see, what do I got here? Object spawn controller. Spawner. Private object spawn controller. But that's a whole other script though, right? Yeah. I guess I'll have to have one. So, required component. Oh, type of object spawn controller. Okay, what namespace is this under? Clearly it's not. Oh, it's Wiz System. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Wiz System, Unity, object pooling. Yeah, there we go. Still doesn't like it? Hold on. What the hell? Object pooling. Oh, spawner controller. Jeez. Okay. Make that private. Spawner. And then public. Let's see, we want a spawn preset. Cold breath effects. And so how would we do this now? gonna have to have a public transform and it's gonna be mouth point transform. Oh, if I could capitalize here, it'd be great. So then, an update. If the effect is not supposed to happen, this component will just be disabled. When it's disabled, you do not do update. So we can just put everything in update here. So if there's no transform, return. That means it wasn't set up properly. Actually, we can do this on update or on enable. In on enable, if we're gonna have a couple things here. There is no transform. Or there is no cold breath effects. Or there's no spawner. There's no spawner. Not enough components to activate the effect. And we say enabled equals false and return. So we want spawner equals get component of this. There we go. And they're the ones we set explicitly. Well, we could make this public if we wanted to. And that's fine. We required the component, so it's gonna be there. And we can throw an error too. So if we're an editor, we don't need to do this if they're actually playing the game. If it fails, it's just a visual effect. It doesn't matter, right? So log error. This could not be enabled Okay, you can tell I'm getting tired. Let's try to wrap this up quick. Could not be enabled. The component or object ref was missing. Component will deactivate. There you go. Then we don't have to do these checks down here. So we'll just deactivate. So then we need a timer. Yeah. Public time controller. System Unity time system, yeah. Time controller. We'll say Delta time controller. And we'll spell it right. Oh yeah, we're gonna add that to the list here. If there's no time controller, then no go. Okay, so private float last time. our next spawn time. And when we enable, next spawn time is going to equal the delta time controller dot time, and we're gonna say public float time between breaths. We're gonna say 1 second to start. We can change it later. We could actually make this a function too, so set next spawn time. Set next spawn time. Private void. And since this is only a single instruction, we can do this little shorthand for the function here. Just give it this little arrow, and then you just, if you only have one instruction, you can do that. And so if delta time controller dot time is greater than or equal to the next spawn time, spawn object will say so spawner dot spawn object from preset, pooled object from preset. We could pull it, but we don't have to. Let's just say spawn object from preset. We'll worry about pulls later. Cold breath effects, and then set next spawn time, and that's it. And this is really all the code that you need for the effect to actually take place. Now turning it on and off, depending on the stage, that's a whole other thing. And this is going to look goofy because we're just going to use an effect, any effect here that we can get our hands on. So it's going to look funny, but we'll see how this goes. Oh, let's see. So if we go to Ryu and we add to him this breath controller, right? We can add it here. Cold breath effects controller. Do we have a spawner here? I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh no, there is. There's one up there. Never mind. So we already have one. Then we're... Oh no, that's... Oh, I guess we will do a pooled one then. Hold on. Let's do a pooled one. Pooled asset. Object spawn. Pooled spawn result. Object spawn. Pooled object spawn preset. There we go. That's what I want. And then we're gonna have to do a pooled one. Okay. All the objects are pooled, so there aren't any normal ones anymore. Alright, we're gonna do grab spark. Because it's gonna be funny. And then here, we'll have to set that when we load the object. Hold on. And delta time controller, I'm just gonna say match. Fight delta time. Fight background delta time. Let's try that one. Okay, then we actually have to load the object here. We'll have to remove the cached objects. That's my own fault. That's a different thing. Then we'll add the mouth point here. Okay, and so this will run all the time, no matter what animation is on and all that, but we'll have to fix that at some point. But you should see the grab spark. Oh, it's not animating this thing properly. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why that is. You see the idea that that effect can play on where the mouth is. I don't know why it's not animating properly, though. Yeah, let's debug this for a second.
Face it straight!
So we go to Ryu. Yeah, here's his mouth position. Oh, I know why. I know why. I never told it to use that position. Is there an override for this? There's not an override for this. Uh-oh. Well, this actually might take a little more ingenuity than I expected. Actually, I have an idea. We're not going to automatically detect that anymore. I have an idea. We don't need to have an offset there. We're gonna put the spawner right on the mouth point. Let's just do that. Gotta get rid of these again. Mouth point. Object, spawner, controller. And when we go here, spawner controller is going to be that one. That should fix it. There it is. Now it's on his mouth. So all we need to do at this point is to create a cold breath sprite. And that might actually be a good thing to do next time. I also have to do it so it's not happening on all the animations. You see, it's happening no matter what's going on. So it'll have to be changed. So I got an idea on how to do that too. In fact, I got a great idea on how to do that. How would it even work on Ken because his head moves in his idle? Oh yeah, well this is also tracking the head movement, yeah. It's part of the animation. So we just change its location to wherever the mouth is during that frame of animation. Wait, here, I got an idea. Why don't we just take this whole thing, copy it to here, paste as new, and keep it off, right? So we need to make one change here, and the change is that this gets set to 0 right away. And what that'll do is that will cause the effect to happen immediately when it's enabled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable it and disable it with code, or with animation. I mean, why not? You can animate something being enabled and disabled. So screw it. Let's animate it. We'll have it off by default. And then we'll animate it so that it gets turned on. And that's it. When the animation's on, it's on. When the animation's off, it's off. Easy peasy. Could be.
Let's party!
Yeah, see? And then if I walk, oh, it's still happening. Shit. Why is it still happening? That's funny. Well, it shouldn't be, but it is. Well, let's take a look. Debug time. If I'm moving. Wait, it's off. Why is it going? Oh, wait, I know why. I didn't remove it. I copied the component, but I did not remove it from the base part of reuse object, right? Yeah, it's right here. So there were two of them going. That's why. Okay. Now it should be fixed. Okay, that's good. That was the better of the two outcomes. So when he's walking, it doesn't happen. But when he's standing still, it does. Now we can make it happen when he walks. I think that's a reasonable. When he's crouching and when he's walking, I think that's reasonable to have that. So let's add it to walking. Walk backward. Let's get the there we go. Okay. Then we want the mouth point. Oh, it's creating new instances of it. That's fine. Here, mouth point. Oh, we don't want these to be parented here either. I'll have to change that. Yeah, I guess wind pose too, right? That makes sense. So when he's walking, we want the point to be 0.6 and 0.2. So it's going to be around here and 0.7. Yeah. 1 and back to 0.6. 0.2. 0.5. Yeah. Okay. And like before, we want all these curves. Yeah. Can we just do it? Yeah, we can do it. And then all these have to be constant so that they move with the mouse per frame of animation. And we also want to make sure that this is on. There. Wait, why is it still active when he's walking forward? I didn't make it do that yet. I don't know. Uh-oh, he's active. Oh, you know what? I bet it's the animation glitch. I bet if we restart it, it won't do that anymore. When you do animating on the fly, things can get weird. Yeah. Alright, yeah, it's proper now. Yeah, look at that. Okay, good. And then when he walks forward, we need it. Honestly, we can just copy these starting frames here. So walk forward? No? Oh, there. Okay. Let's have him move here. Preview it here. We'll have to go into scene view to really see it. I hate that. There. Okay. Where is this here? Chord. Oh, it was in a good spot, yeah. 0.2. Then in this frame, 0.1, 0.6. And then this frame, uh-oh, it's a double time over. We'll get through this though, it's fine. 0.2? No, 0.0. 7. That track's louder again. Point 2 and 0.6. Oh, I did 5 by accident. There you go. 6, and there you go. Now, again, curves. Constant. There, and then it goes with it. Cool. Yep, and it tracks. Uh-oh. Oh wait, that's right. That's the animation glitch. I don't think it'll happen if we do this. Yeah, and see, it stops when he's actually doing a move or whatever. It stops. But it comes back when he goes back to idle. So we need crouching. Yeah, we'll need crouching and wind poses. Save that. I'll do the crouching for now, then I'll do the other ones later, I guess. Oh, his intros too will need it. Yeah. So let's just do crouching and we'll call it there. Crouch, hold. That's where he's actually on the ground? Yeah, that's where we're gonna want to do it. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay. Do we still have it in our clipboard? We do not. Let's go to stand. Just trying to think here. Copy that. Crouch. Oh, crouch hold. Oh, there we are. Okay. Then when he's in this state, it's probably too high. Yeah. Where is it? 0.7? Nope, 0.8. And that's it, actually, because it is just a hold frame. And I'm going to actually change the math slightly on this. I'm actually going to remove this being reset. Oh, music stopped. So that was the end of the playlist. That's fine. We'll just let this play through. I'm going to remove that reset. Because that way it won't, yeah, I'll do his wind poses later. Or is that an old message? Is that an old message? That's an old message. Is it? 6 minutes ago. He'll need wind poses, intro poses, all that. I'll do those later just to kind of cut it short here, but I just wanted to get the basic stuff. So removing that reset, because every time the animation activates that would use it, it would spawn one immediately because of that reset. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, old message, sorry. I think I'm getting really tired. I'm reading old messages being like, oh, I didn't answer that, okay. But yeah, there, and then see, it happens when he's crouched. That'll be really cool. That'll actually be a really nice addition. It's funny that it's kind of happening between attacks too, which is really funny. A little bit like when you have little gaps or you're just waiting for something to happen, it's like happening because he's going back to idle. That's really cool, actually. That's really neat. I think it'll look cool. We'll just have to have a good effect for it. And I think I have one in mind, but I'll have to do a little research to figure that out. That's really cool, though. Obviously, it doesn't look like breath yet, but it will eventually. We'll make a nice effect for it that flickers and rises. So the only other thing is finding a way to make sure that it's disabled when you're not in a cold environment. And I think I know how to do that, but it's gonna take a little thinking to kind of automate that. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. I have an idea. Metal Slug uses one. You can check out the effect. To be honest, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking about checking out Metal Slug. But yeah. He has ideas! Yeah, I got ideas. Everybody's got ideas. And this was a good one. So thanks for the suggestion. Again, apparently you suggested it before and I forgot, but yeah, it was a quick enough ad at this point that I think it's pretty interesting. Metal Slug has like infinite detail. Yeah, for real, right? For a 2D game. Yeah, they maximized it. Because they were entering the era of like 3D gaming and they're like, look, in order to stand out from all the technological advances and all the 3D stuff that's coming up, we have to go hard on 2D. We have to impress. We have to go really super hard and make this thing really eye-catching. And they did. They absolutely succeeded. But it was their drive to kind of stand out in the emerging 3D market that really pushed that. And God bless them for it. So, okay, that's as far as I'm going to take it for today. We did a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to take a look at that Metal Slug effect and see if I can animate a pocket version of it, if there isn't already one from the pocket Metal Slugs. Yeah, all the Metal Slugs look really great. They actually, the Metal Slug team, before they were part of SNK, they actually made a beat 'em up too, and I forget what it was called though. But it was really good. When you see it, you're like, oh, those are the Metal Slug guys. You can tell by the art style. But they did a beat 'em up that was really cool. And I can't remember what the name was. It was on Super Nintendo. But yeah, either way. So, Undercover Cops, is that it? Yeah, I bet that's it, isn't it? Alright, hold on, let's check it. I bet that's it. That sounds right. Undercover Cops, Super Nintendo. Yeah, that's it. No, ads, go away.
Sports and news. YouTube TV. Try it free.
Shut up.
Introducing.
Oh my god.
Fit for meetings.
Alright, I'm saving you the ads.
Fit for movie.
Skip ad. There we go. No, I don't want a YouTube premium trial. There you go. Check this game out. Check this game out. Get out of here, ads. You can tell it's the Metal Slug people by the graphic style. It's got that grittiness to it and that level of detail. There's an arcade version? Oh shit, okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm forgetting here. I'm forgetting. Oh shit, yeah it is. Okay. Oh, shut up. Skip. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so you can tell it's Metal Slug. The same team. Just by the graphics and the style. Is she gonna pick up the girder? She didn't pick up the I-beam? Oh, you can pick up the I-beam. Yeah, you can pick that up too. Look at this. Look at this. This is so great. This fucking game is awesome. This is fucking crazy bullshit. And you break off parts of the pillar as you hit them. It's great. Yeah, this game's awesome. This is the kind of stuff that stands out, you know? They also did 2 other games. The code that went in the Metal Slug. Oh, is that the submarine game? There was a submarine game that they made that basically is like the vehicle section of Metal Slug, but that was before Metal Slug. It's a snail. They had great animation. Really looks good. The art direction's amazing. Oh shit! She's just gonna pick up the Jeep. Hey, look, if she's swinging around giant pillars, I guess that makes sense. It's alright. Yeah, just lugging those I-beams around like they're softballs. Yeah, there was a Super Nintendo version of this game. Yeah, the whole truck. And the guy's name's Cue Ball. Yeah, this is very 90s. This is super ass 90s. Oh, and he's a robot too. Yeah, that's super 90s. Well, that's funny, and he throws her in the compactor. That's funny. That's cool. I guess if you throw him in the compactor, it's probably an insta-kill, right? Throw him in. Throw him in. Yeah, throw him in. Yeah. Get him. Yeah. Yeah, this game's fucking awesome. She is very strong. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say. You can see the guns on her, man. You can just tell looking at her. Yeah, I love those like wanted poster or those mug shots. It's super good. This game has got a lot of flair to it.
Yes, you got.
It's so good. It's definitely got that Metal Slug flair to it. But yeah. So there you go. Undercover Cops on Super Nintendo. I'll have to see if I can find that to play it. That would be a good playthrough for a Sunday. But yeah, there you go. Undercover Cops. There. Dan's under. Alright, that'll about do it for today. I gotta make sure to clip that whole GGPO segment since that was requested. And I'll work on a little bit. Tomorrow I'm gonna check to see if I can find that effect from Metal Slug, the cold breath. And see if I can get that in Pocket Style, if I can redraw it in Pocket Style. Or adapt it or whatever. And then we can put it in next time, on next Monday. And we'll go from there. I think that'll be pretty cool. And then maybe we could finally get to the Judgment Girls, but yeah, that's fine. It would take a while to draw one of them anyway, so I'd need at least half the stream to do that, I think. So that works out good. I think we did good work today, so let's close her on out. Now here's our schedule. Thursday I got Retro Mansion game stuff coming up. That's a NES style Metroidvania-ish indie game that I'm working on. And then on Sunday we play stuff. We played Street Fighter Alpha 3 and did World Tour mode. But I don't know what we'll play this next coming time. I got that Retro Tink 5X, so expect a lot of retro stuff coming in, and we'll go from there. And that's pretty much it. So, if you enjoyed what you saw today, and you feel like throwing me a few bones, yeah, here it comes, the Patreon pitch. I upload test builds of this project and other projects that I work on there. So if you want the latest and greatest half broken builds but has the latest stuff in it and you want to check it out on your own or in person, then that's the place to go. I'm trying to load Patreon, trying to load the damn list. I forgot to print out a list, so we're gonna go right to Patreon and read the names off. So here's our current supporters. We got Alex Smith, Mugen, Angel, Wakened Emperor, Bryce Nagalingam, Cameron Lyle, Garen Johnson, Mike Cruz, Rui Luis, Taryn Williams, Variant X, Alex D, Ben K, D Money 107, and Grave Spirit, LD Walker, Miles Griffin, Omega Keo, and AJ. Those are our May patrons. Thank you guys very, very, very much. Helps me dedicate more time to this and streaming and keeping up with the fees and the Photoshop subscription and all that stuff. So it really does help out, and I very much appreciate that. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on Thursday, Sunday, and back here again on Monday. And everybody have a good one, and scrub out.